is an issue. Oh, you want to go on a trip? Nah. Not without us saying so.
I suspect if you had to get your driver's license and go through the federal government, that might take 2 months too, as opposed to, one stop in the DMV and you've got it.
It's true.
They just need to come up with a different system. But right now, with the system that's in place, I'm sure they're dealing with hundreds of thousands of people needing a passport.
But Tim and I did ours a week apart from each other, that's what's really so
Well,
odd.
he's Tim and you're not.
Flip that off.
It should be just like the DMV, where you go and get your driver's license. They don't actually give you the physical license that day, but they give that piece of paper that acts as the placeholder until you get the piece of paper. They should give you the same thing until you get your actual booklet passport.
Yeah, like they're literally holding up an entire trip to take the exact longest possible time they could.
I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I don't think they went through everything. Said, got that Atkins guy going to Jamaica? Throw that to the back.
Purpose or not, it needs to be more efficient. We're in 2023 now, people.
Yeah. I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobiggs.com.
Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After. 105.7 HD2.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
You turned me on to Cheryl Dilcher about a year ago.
Let's just show the wrist show that, hey, we're the new kids on the block, but we got listeners.
You're raw dogging it, bro.
There you go.
I can guarantee you, at least 100 guys listening to this can't get hard. Who had the first kid? Probably no better dressed person out of me and everybody listening than me.
Don't be a cuck or a fat, hairy ape. Shave your nuts with Manscaped.
Yeah, he's never seen a gentleman he wouldn't service.
How do I get my mitts on one of those Kevin Na shirts?
I know my brother-in-law can't swallow. Who's utterly bisexual?
You were dogging Kevin Na on Monday. What's up with that?
On the catwalk? Yeah, on the catwalk. How about the catwalk? Yeah, the catwalk.
Now that you're representing Blue Chew, you know a lot about stiffing.
Ooh, Doug, nice. I think you set him up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do I have one today?
Yes.
I'm not prepared.
So you'd like to defer on your one live read.
What do you do for a living there, Sideburns?
Huh?
And I've seen a lot of nudity in movies, Doug.
So we're overthinking this because it's all ridiculous anyway.
So scissoring is your jam? Let me tell you, that Patrico can smash. Who's got Yeezys?
You wore a pair in the other day, didn't you?
Yeezys?
Douche.
Find something to do.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Whenever you guys talk golf, I kind of turn the radio down. That doesn't interest me.
Are we still fascinated with beautiful women?
The first time she took her top off,
oh yeah,
I said, wow.
Herb sounds so tall.
She's bisexual counterpart of mine.
When I'm caddying for Tim and we're reading putts, I have to think of how Tim's putting.
Just out of curiosity, where did you play yesterday where things were so awry?
Normandy.
Yeah, they don't charge you over there, do they?
Oh, I'm just tired of it, man.
So he can shut right up.
Now, if you can't get hard, I get hard if the wind blows. This could be the most stupid comment I've ever made.
Oh, I love legs.
Yeah. Sorry to bother you. It's a two-pronged sword.
Yeah, you'd have been a hell of an officer.
Tap that app.
We did a good hour, Doug.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. Yeah, this is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
Good morning, St. Louis. Wait just a doggone minute. Where's Tim? I assume he's not here today, based on the voice I just heard. Tim? He's gone.
I think he's here.
He's gone fishing.
Yeah. In the Hamptons.
Gone wedding.
We should have a little sign that says "Gone fishing" whenever we're not here.
Iggy should have one. Didn't you have a little sign or something? When you
Yeah, the sales staff. Actually, sales staff's made it for me. Smoke break.
Yeah, like, right, we just put it there.
So they thought it was kind of a joke, so I just keep going with it.
I like it.
Yeah, lean into it. This is the Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. This is the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Douglas Elvin Vaughn is to my right. Across the dais for me, Darren the Plowhawk Atkins, running the ones and the twos. To my left, Ken Iggy Strode in the Seckman C6 studios. In my stead today is KG in O-Town, while I sit in the catbird seat, Doug.
Don't say my stead. I don't care for that. In my stead.
Isn't that
How about in my place?
All right, yeah, well,
Isn't that a term used in, like, horses and cattle? Isn't that stead?
I don't know.
Steed. A steed would be like a prized horse.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say it. I just, I'm not comfortable with it.
That's okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'll do better.
Okay.
So in my
Thank
place,
you. There you go.
in the Horton Watkins studios, which now have a C6 studios, as Jeffco permeates the studio, that would be KG in O-Town. I am in for the vacationing Tim McKernan. He'll be back on Tuesday of next week, and then Doug will be out Wednesday for a week after that. So it'll be full strength next Tuesday, and then a different squad. But you got the JV squad once again today for the Cardinals home opener.
Anybody going?
Yeah.
No, it's much too cold.
Oh.
I'm also not going.
I don't think I am either.
But I'll watch the ball game on the television set.
You know what angers me? I always love going, and I've been to opening day, 30 times. What angers me most is the price gouging at the parking.
Oh, it's brutal.
When you go down there, they want $40 or $50.
Yeah, $50.
That's $50 for sure.
Why don't they just charge $100?
They could. They
What are you
easily
going to do
could.
about it?
Yeah, right. You got to park somewhere.
Why does it cost more for opening day than any other day?
I feel like because opening day, more so than other games, Doug, is you have a lot of people maybe not going to the baseball game proper, but going to one of the lovely establishments around the ballpark and just to get that opening day vibe, and they watch the game there. And the parking people know that, and so they take advantage of it because it's supply and demand kind of thing.
Gouging.
Yes, it's gouging. Yeah, $50 for parking is outrageous.
It kind of ruins it for me.
Yeah. Like when I went to the Blues
shouldn't,
game.
but it does.
I went to the Blues game Monday, $25 to park. I think that is like the ceiling. That's as much as I want to pay for parking. Even that isn't great, but at least that's, manageable. $50, twice that.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah, it's weak.
And you go to New York or L.A., Chicago, it might be $100.
Maybe.
But here, it shouldn't be.
No. I bet in terms of like opening day fanfare around baseball, or at least home openers, the Cardinals would probably be right up there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Teams like the Cubs and Yankees and Mets.
Does it feel like there's a little less fanfare and excitement this year than most years?
Yeah,
Or is
I
that
think
just me getting older.
I think part of that's the weather today, but also the ball club. Ball club with a uninspiring 3-2 loss yesterday at the hands of the Padres. They still take the series from the Padres, but they fall. Zach Thompson, frankly, Doug, they were lucky to be in that game. He was not good.
Right. Yeah, Padres had chances to score a lot of runs.
You can't be a pitcher who's struggling with velocity like he is. He's topping out around 89, 90 with the fastball.
Yeah,
And then
I
also,
don't get it.
and then also can't find the strike zone. The first inning, walked home a run, was like 35 pitches into the first inning. Just not what you want to see.
If you're throwing 89 and you're in the middle of the strike zone, you're throwing batting practice to major league hitters.
Yeah. And he the 9 hitter for the Padres, he grooved a 90-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle, and he took him.
Oh yeah.
He pulled it deep on him, and the Cardinals lose yesterday. Not much offense either. But you know what? They go 3-4 in opening series against the Dodgers and Padres. If we were to tell you that a week ago, you'd probably say, "All right, we'll take that going into a series with the Marlins, who have not won a baseball game yet this season."
0-7.
0-7.
Playoff
for
team last year.
Skip
How
Schumacher.
is that possible?
Most teams go an entire season without losing 7 in a row.
Yeah,
much less the first 7.
Have the Pirates lost yet?
Well,
And
we'll
the
check
Pirates
on that.
lost. Yeah,
The Marlins are 0-7, man.
the Pirates, Iggs, they lost yesterday to the hands of the Nationals, 5-3. Your final score. The Pirates are 5-1, and they lead the National League Central. Brewers and Cubs in front. The Cardinals are in last place.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. And nobody in the league is undefeated. So
No.
we will not have an undefeated team this year.
We will not.
Man, that bet really.
Well,
Why
I
did
take
it-
that back. Detroit's 4-0.
That's right.
They got
Detroit
a-
is 4-0.
They got a
They
doubleheader.
got games in hand, though, left and right.
Yeah.
As do the Mets, who have also only played 4 baseball games due to plenty of rain that's on the East Coast
Is
there.
it unusual? Is this the first time I can remember? Now, granted, they were on the West Coast, but to play 8 straight games without a day off this early in the season?
Seems like it, yeah.
I mean, it's usually 2 games, a day off, a game, a travel day, a game, a day off, a game. And that's because usually a lot of cities have bad weather this time of year. But to start out and then have to come back from San Diego back to St. Louis for your home opener, no days off, 8 straight days.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, too. But the cold weather cities usually do schedule an open date after the scheduled opener in
Right.
case bad weather washes out the scheduled home opener.
Yeah. I know what you're saying there. Yeah, and honestly, I think a day off would have been good for the Cardinals because yesterday, Doug, you had a situation where, and I get it for the most part, you got to rotate and bench guys to stay sharp. Otherwise, you could run into some issues. But Brandon Crawford gets to start over Mason Wynn yesterday.
Why do you have to rotate for a guy who's, 21 years old?
Does he need a break at 22?
He's had 2 days off already. They played 7 games.
2 in a week is surprising to me. 1 in a week is understandable. 2 in a week, to me at least, is a touch surprising.
Let him play!
But the home opener tomorrow, travel day. Listen, I don't love it. I guess I understand it's not uncommon, but there was a play yesterday where Xander Bogaerts hits a ball through the middle of the infield that Brandon Crawford dived, didn't get to. The runner on first got to third, and then they scored after that. Mason Wynn has that ball every single day and turns 2, and you get out of the inning. And then you lose by 1 in the game.
Is there anyone on the roster who would probably have physically been better able to play all those games than Mason Wynn?
That's the problem, is he's such a young guy.
He's not the catcher. He's not the 37 or 8-year-old first baseman.
He's your best hitter, too,
At the moment.
Well, yeah. He's certainly your best shortstop. He's 21 years old. And he needs 2 days off in the first 7?
That ball yesterday up the middle that Crawford couldn't get to, I saw a replay of it, and they had a stat on it. Now, they got stats on everything. The ball went through the infield at 69 miles an hour. You're going to tell me Wynn doesn't get to a ball hit 69 miles an hour?
100%.
Got through the infield.
He turns 2 on that play, and they get out of the inning. So I'm not...
Well, they're old. This is what happened to old people.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing to work everybody into the lineup occasionally, keep them sharp, keep them feeling like they're part of the team. I get that. But twice in the first 7 games seems like a little overkill in that.
That's why I loved Schilt. When Paul DeYoung was struggling, he benched him. He didn't throw him in there. He just absolutely benched him. Like, Mike Schilt was great at playing one lineup. Like, it was infuriating. There's a lot of things last year that was annoying to watch, the farewell tours, Wainwright's 41 out there throwing batting practice. The worst thing was, like, the amount of players that played in a given week. Like, you can't get into a rhythm. Like, I feel bad for Mason Wynn. He's trying to get his offense going, and you have 2 days off in 5 games. What did that say throughout the year? You're going to, sit 40, 50 games?
No, but he's never played a 162-game schedule. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm positive that he can. However, you got to rotate. Now, 2 in a week, I'm with you. And I don't think that'll continue. I bet it'll be 1 a week probably for the remainder of the season. But I'm not trying to be over here like being like the Cardinals made the right move by sending Mason Wynn. They have a better chance of winning yesterday.
Rights holder merit badge today.
No, I'm just saying it's more understandable, and it's not like it's been uncommon for the Cardinals to do such a thing throughout the years. La Russa did stuff similar. You got to rotate. And if the outfield wasn't as dinged up as it is, you'd probably see a lot more rotation out there as well.
I know. It doesn't mean we have to like it.
Yeah, because I don't think Victor Scott's had a day off yet, and I think he's got 2 hits.
Gosh, he must be absolutely exhausted. Better give him a rest. What was Cal Ripken thinking, going out there playing every day?
Well, if you're going to give somebody a day off, give him a day off and play Burleson and just stick somebody in center field because...
Well, they've been playing Ciani a lot. He's been defensive replacement left and right.
Yeah, defensive replacement. Let him start. He had a good spring, too, but Victor Scott, I think he's got 2 hits all year.
Yeah, but they didn't call him up to sit him on the bench. They got to get him untracked and on base.
Not to mention you have guys coming back who will be threatening for his spot, so there'll be plenty of times where they rotate the outfield.
I could see where they might send Scott back down to AAA.
I could see that happening. Yeah, and I don't think that would be a terrible thing. He's never faced AAA pitching. Yeah. He's going straight from AA to the majors.
But I don't think he's going to go anywhere where he sits on the bench.
No, you got to play him. He's a guy who you want in there. I mean, because he's young, but it's not like he's like 19. He's I think 24.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
So
there's no way to know. We don't have any resource to
Victor
look at.
Scott?
Yeah.
He's 23 or under because he was one of the 5 guys that started the opening day or first game of the year was under 23.
He is 23 years old. So
okay.
There's that. You can get involved on the program today. Munganast St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt, Holden Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Text in Jeff Lotman. Text line 314-881-TMA5. The phone lines are 636-900-4-TMA, and they are sponsored by Callier and Thompson. You can email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Doug, our title sponsor, Brown and Crouppen. Would you mind telling me a little bit about them?
Sure. I think we all know a little bit about Brown and Crouppen now. Their name is all over the studio here, and their principals have been in the studio. Terry Crouppen, Andy Crouppen, Ed Herman. We've gotten to know them all. One of them stops by every Tuesday and talks sometimes for hour and a half, close to 2 hours at a time, which is wonderful. We love having them in. And you'll love having them on your side if you should ever have a personal injury law case. Brown and Crouppen is a local law firm here to serve you. Been around St. Louis now since 1979. Multiple offices around the area. They employ more than 250 legal professionals. They can handle any kind of case whatsoever. They also treat their clients and employees like gold. They're very much a part of the community. They value that. They're involved in many charities and community events, everything from Annie Malone and Sister Strut to Stray Rescue. Here's the good part. You think you have a case, you call them. They give you a free evaluation over the phone. Maybe they'll have you in to talk about it. If they take the case, they'll work on a contingency basis. No upfront cost to you at all. If you don't get paid, they get paid. They've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. So if you think you may need Brown & Crouppen services, call them at 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandcrouppen.com. Make sure you let them know you heard about it here on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
And if you're looking to place a wager today, maybe on the Cardinals home opener, let me suggest to you Circa Sports, because the Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. Looking to the Cardinal game today, 3:15 first pitch. If you like the Cardinals to win, they're minus 145 on the money line, the over-under at 8.5. Ryan Weathers pitching for the Marlins. Lance Lynn on the bump for the Redbirds. The Redbirds are also minus 1.5 at plus 138. That's some great value right there. If you think the Cardinals can win against the winless Miami Marlins, you can bet on that with the Circa Sports app, available now in Illinois. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234. Now, I led off there, Doug, with the opening day, or home opener, I should say, for the Cardinals, as that is a holiday around here. But we had a major news break yesterday after the program.
Involving the station here, the show, or what?
Involving the show. in a revelation that was new to all of us on this presentation. Our March listener of the month.
Blueberry Pop Pop.
14 email a day wins in the month of March. Blueberry Pop Pop revealed himself yesterday.
Yeah.
And that person is KG in O-Town.
You can't be serious.
Blueberry Pop Pop, KG in O-Town. The same person?
Really?
Indeed. It was me all along.
And we didn't know about it when we voted for you.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I do believe there's a lot of Iggy votes there. So that got to be tough.
I mean, what a moment.
Over here.
What a moment. None of us knew. I certainly did not know.
I knew when I watched the video.
What'd you say?
You just fell asleep?
No, I was checking DraftKings.
Why were you checking DraftKings?
Valero, Texas Open.
We just had an important announcement.
I heard
they teed off like a minute ago. They're like in the fairway on hole 1,
I
right?
want to make sure nobody withdrew. It happens sometimes.
So you did not hear the announcement?
I heard the announcement. I don't know what Plazzi said.
What was the announcement?
I said you voted for Blueberry Pop Pop too, which is...
Well, there were good emails.
They were good emails. I'll give
I was voting for
KG
the
that.
email.
They
I
were
wouldn't vote for
penned
the
well.
person.
Huh. Now, are we going to be accused of some sort of insider trading?
Well,
Because
if none
one
of us knew, then it wouldn't
know.
make...
He was, I mean, KG, you can speak more of this, but I mean, the emails that would come in were from blueberrypoppop@gmail.com or whatever it was. So I didn't know. You pseudonym on the listener of the month thing. So yeah, it was unbeknownst to us, but yeah, in a major revelation. I wouldn't say as big as Tucker being Bruce.
No, of course not.
Bruce from New York. But in that same vein, I mean, you had a guy who went 14 emails a day.
And can I tell you,
And he was in the building.
the first 3 days of the streak, as everybody knows, Blueberry Pop Pop got off to a 5-0 start in March.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 3 of that streak, I was actually in this very booth.
Sending emails.
Really?
So the calls were coming from inside the house.
The murderers inside the home.
And I actually this goes back to August, but I do remember Blueberry Pop Pop got a win. Jackson, I was sitting right next to you at, I believe it's called Circa.
That's right. Tight money line splits, baby.
Yeah, but last night was the first good night's sleep I've gotten in a long time. It felt good to get that off my chest and not live with that secret anymore.
Will you continue to email in as Blueberry Pop Pop?
No, he is retired. The bid is up. I'm ready to...
But you're in line now for Listener of the Year.
Which you've already won.
Yeah, and I would be fine with foregoing my Listener of the Month award. I'm not sure that it should go to an employee. I am an employee here.
Mm-hmm.
So if there needs to be a recasting of some votes to elect a real Listener of the Month, I'd be fine with that. I'm a man of integrity, and I understand that as an employee, maybe I should not be in the running.
Well, what sort of prize did you get for being Listener of the Month?
Pride.
Oh, you didn't win anything
It's
anyway.
a Malaga to kill a prize back, but when I found out, and we talked with Jesse yesterday, you've never accepted any prizes you've won when you've won as Blueberry Pop Pop while you've been employed, right?
I have not. Okay. There was one time back in the fall where there was some tickets to something, and I did not accept the tickets, but no other time that Blueberry Pop Pop 1 email a day was there a prize for that particular day.
Got it.
So I have never accepted a prize.
Okay. So you're not taking, I think for just purposes, you should say, clear that up, that he's never... So
and we
as
didn't
a full-time
know, so
employee,
it's not like...
Right, so it's not, so he's never taken anything from the station that could be deemed something fraudulent.
I don't see any issue with it anyways.
And the reason he revealed it yesterday?
It just had run its course. It was time to let the people know the truth.
Well, when in 14, it's hard to...
I don't think anybody was asking who is Blueberry Pop.
Here it is.
Well, there was some discussion one of the days. Doug brought up, do we know who this is? Is it somebody that's been emailing under a different name before? I think some people were thinking that it could have been under the Grundlehort umbrella. But yeah, it was just time.
Yeah,
when in 14 in a month, you can't really do more.
It's kind of a mic drop moment for you anyway. If you're going to retire, go out like Sandy Koufax or Jim Brown, Barry Sanders.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want Blueberry to flounder around like Willie Mays as a Met. I wanted to go out strong and on top.
I see.
KG would suck on you, every one of you, to be on the show every day. Lick said he's the best at it. That comes from the Warson Woods Wacko.
I love this show.
Holy crap, I'm mind blown right now. It's from Eric in the Central West End. I'll take the prize. That comes from Mr. Siders.
Well, we got to pick a new one.
A new what?
Winner.
No,
we don't.
No,
I don't see any issues with it.
What we can
didn't
do-
accept prizes. We didn't know, so it's not like we're voting to get the
If
prize.
he wants to say he's an employee, employees aren't allowed to win things.
He didn't win anything.
He
won a Milagro prize pack with
that he
tequila
hasn't
in it.
accepted.
I have no prize pack.
Well, and that's why I got to pick a new one.
Or what we can do is take said Milagro Tequila prize pack and put it into the Listener of the Year prize pack and just add on to it.
Oh, no, there's an idea.
Just add
double
on
bottles.
to it that way. So the Listener of the Year gets even more of
That's fine.
a sweet little pack. Listener of the Year 2022, Listener of the Month March 2024, Nepotism, Great Look. That's from the Loom Street. I like when people say great look.
I don't mind it. We didn't know. It was all innocence. We didn't know.
Strip his title. That's from the 314.
Yeah, they're ready to.
But there's no doubt that the Listener of the Month was earned. He won 14 emails of the day.
It wasn't even
when you
close.
don't know who it is, it's just the email is based on merit.
And I, when I applied for Listener of the Month, I used that blueberrypoppop@gmail email address. And I don't know if Jackson, if you'll get the reference, but I believe the name that I submitted was Rupert Pupkin.
Oh, King of Comedy.
Yeah, and I remembered on Entourage that was something they'd put in the
It was
phone.
Vinny Chase's nom de plume.
Correct.
So when he would call people.
Yeah. So I kept it to myself. None of these guys knew, but it was just time to clear the air and take this weight off my shoulders.
Hey, who gives an F? Do people really pick up the gift? That comes from Wedding Tackle. They do, because it's a lovely prize pack from Milagro Tequila where you get a bottle of Milagro Tequila, some shot glasses, a great hoodie, and the very exclusive TMA Listener of the Month tumbler, one of 12 out there. I guess now one of 11 since KG is not accepting the prizes as he is Blueberry Pop Pop. But you can sign up yourself to win. TMASTL.com, the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. An extra prize this month, Doug, 2 tickets to Judas Priest, the Invisible Shield Tour, with special guest Sabaton at St. Louis Music Park on Sunday, May 5th. So I guess since you're not going to be taking those tickets, KG, I'll ask Jesse Kowski today, but maybe we could use those tickets for tomorrow's email of the day.
Please do.
Yeah. All right. There we go. See? Yes,
All right, then.
Paying it forward.
Yeah. Well, we got that settled. That was a big newsbreaker.
Big news. I mean, you've been Blueberry Pop Pop for a while, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how long, but I
before.
went into that email sent folder, and the first sent email in that email folder was from February of 2019.
Yeah, so you've been doing it for a while, and it's kind of odd that you win 14 in a row, and then you come out. My guess, you want everybody to know it was you that won 14 times.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
No, I'm serious. It's no big deal.
Oh, for
There's no way
heaven's
to be
sakes.
emailing his pop-up for 5 years and just all of a sudden say, I'm going to reveal it's me. Because nobody was asking who it is. Doug did one day. I do all the time. Anybody know who Licks is?
We'll find
Yeah,
out.
ask, but-
Fan Page Flow Championship.
All 64 people have paid. We have a full field.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
68 are in there.
I'll take this board home with you.
It'll stay right here. I'll take care of it here.
Yeah, probably best to just do it here.
Yeah.
The integrity of this show is gone. It's like the WWE now. It's from the Worson Woods Wacko.
No, for heaven's sakes.
Telling you we didn't know, but
It's
people
fun.
can think what they want. Not gonna.
And now with him retiring, it opens up. Everybody else now can get involved in the win.
Well, sure.
Who gives an F? Let's discuss how a member of the day has felt the need to post 10 photos of his haircut. We all get haircuts, you moron.
Oh.
That's from Harrison's brother Master. Yeah, he got a little busman special.
You do look like a little bus.
Well, it was 3 pictures, not 10, so... And I guess we're friends on Facebook, or you wouldn't have seen it, so let me know your real name so you can be blocked.
Oh!
Let me know your real name so you can be
How'd the
blocked.
haircut go?
Obviously, he doesn't appreciate, so I don't know why you want to be friends with me on Facebook. Well, fine. A little 2-hour...
It took 2 hours?
Yeah, well, sometimes it depends if Arena's chatty or not.
2 hours? No way.
Mine takes literally 5 minutes.
Mine's
I say,
like
Jerry, are
8
you
minutes-
done already?
8
Did you
minutes
cut anything?
tops.
Oh, the color and the cut take a while. First, she like shaves, gets all the long hair off, and then puts the toner on. Then the coloring on. I sit under a hair dryer for 40 minutes.
40 minutes on a hair dryer?
Dude,
you can blow dry your hair in 2 minutes.
Well, the conditioner and the stuff that puts it in to make it blonde, it's got to seep into your roots. I'm not going to Crazy Joe's haircut place, where he just sprays on some streaks. I mean, she does it right. And that's why it costs so much money, because,
What did it cost you?
her haircuts last a long time.
Well, her haircuts can't last any longer than anyone else's haircut.
Like I said, if Arena's chatty, which she loves to talk, and this is a busy place, Strands. There's like 7, 8 people cutting hair, people all over the place, and so she'll stop to talk and say, "Oh, did you hear last night?" And then she'll walk over to another booth and start talking in the middle of my haircut, which is fine. I'm just enjoying a glass of wine. And so she was a little chatty yesterday, so it took a little longer, but I don't mind.
You're drinking wine while they're cutting hair over your head? Don't pieces of the hair fall into the wine?
When I'm sitting in the chair, when she's cutting my hair, I'm not holding a glass of wine.
Oh.
While I'm under the dryer, I'm playing golf rival, drinking a glass of wine.
Oh, there with all the other girls. Your hair under the dryer.
Actually, I was
for
the only
2
guy.
hours.
I was the only guy in there yesterday. Great place, right next to Louis. It's right next door to Louis. Louis on Demon.
Louis.
What does this cut and color cost you?
I'm not going to tell you how much it costs.
$100?
I'll take the over.
Do you write a check?
If you're going to sit there for 2 hours.
I did write a check, yeah, actually.
I know what Madison pays for hers, so I kind of have an idea.
I didn't wear a hat because it was cold this morning. I mean,
Well, can we see the haircut?
Without any hair, my head gets cold. Yeah, I'll take it off.
Let's
Oh,
take a
here we
look
go.
at it.
Oh, little busman.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, now you're rustling it.
Little
Oh,
busman.
man, look at the color.
You're proud of that, too, aren't
And
you?
the cut.
It's a platinum blonde.
Well, it's a good haircut. Irene's the best.
And
So-
you're proud enough of it to show the pictures on Facebook.
Well, it was a before and after. I had a picture of me sitting in the chair before the haircut with my hair hanging down to my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then one when I was done. And then one I took a picture with Irene. So it wasn't 10 pictures, it was 3. And, quite a lot of compliments on it. So I guess some people enjoyed the 3 pictures. Masturbator.
So you were really proud of yourself with this haircut.
I'm not
The cut
proud
and
of
color,
myself.
you were
I
so
didn't
proud
do it.
you posted pictures of yourself after a haircut.
Before and after.
Okay, well, everyone has a before and after potential every time they go get a haircut.
All right. What about you? Posting your picture of your smoothie every week. What are you going to pay?
There's a business.
Yeah, you better
There's
start
business
putting,
behind that.
Yeah, you better start putting an ad next to that so people know.
You don't have to do that.
iHeartRadio had a big problem with that, but I have no problem with what you're doing there. I got nothing out of posting the pictures except I wanted to show people how good Irene is. I went from this to this.
I just don't understand guys sending pictures of other guys' junk.
Oh,
I've never
Fair
done.
question,
I
Jay.
didn't do that.
I don't know if I've ever done a haircut reveal.
No.
It just kind of happens.
I
and
did
just-
it mainly for Irene. I talk about Irene all the time. I just want to let people know what Irene
Pump up
can
her
do for you.
business a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I can do that on my Facebook page. I tagged her in it, and if you want a nice haircut, go see Irene.
Yeah.
And my friend Scuba Linneman gets his haircut. He's a flight attendant for American Airlines. He gets his haircut by Irene.
And does he sit 2 hours underneath a blow dryer?
I don't think so. I don't think he does. I think he just gets it clipped. But
2 hours?
well, I think
It must be barely blowing anything.
it's just it's not a hair dryer anymore. It's just 3 lamps that just have heat coming out of it. You don't put the thing over your head again. It's not the old days.
This show is so sad. KG is the ultimate simp for likes, and the 7-year-old professional creep detailing his effing cut and color. Got to look in the mirror on how I spend my time. It's from the Table Rock Lake Monster.
What's so creepy about talking about a haircut? I mean, we talk about Doug's hair every day, and it's luscious.
That's right. And there's a sponsor attached to it, Doug.
Yeah, and you'll be having to go get a cut and color here soon, Doug.
That's right. STL Hair Restoration, St. Louis Hair
Nice weave.
Restoration. They've taken care of me and Doug. Well, proof is in the pudding. You get back side by side. I guess we're on top of each other on YouTube, which is always lovely. And you can see my hair. You can see Doug's hair. Doug's hair is certainly the one that is like the, that's the one. Because you look a year ago, probably today, to where we are now, really just night and day difference on Doug's hair. That's the FUE procedure that Doug got. They got me on about 1 milligram of finasteride I take every single morning, and then I wear this laser cap at night. And we're really seeing it's getting thicker. The crown region that was once a real difficult point for me is looking a lot better, and that's thanks to our friends over at St.
Lean
Louis.
down a little. Let me
Hair.
see that crown.
Yeah, there's a little crown right there.
Yeah, I don't see any problem at all.
Right, and it was legitimate. Now it's a lot because my hair is really light colored,
Yeah.
and so when light hits it, especially on the top, it looks even worse. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. However, it is getting thicker in the crown region. We're feeling really good about it, and it takes almost no effort from me. Thanks to our friends at St. Louis Hair Restoration. Doug went in one day, and now look at him. I mean, you college hairline right there.
Better than college hairline.
Yeah.
I didn't have that hairline in college.
It's unbelievable.
But yours looks like you don't have any problem at all.
Yeah, seriously.
Yours look like, no, you don't need our services.
Right.
But a lot of that is because you got their services.
That's right, exactly.
I had the more drastic procedure, obviously, with the FUE, which is a follicle unit extraction is what they call it, where they shave the side and the back of your head, and then they take some of the hair follicles out of that area where you're not susceptible to male pattern baldness, and then they move it to where you are thin, and then in a matter of a couple months, you got this kind of hairline. Look at me, hoo-hoo, look at me. I've got all kinds of tufts, and I've got all kinds of wisps. It certainly made a big difference for me, and it will for you too. St. Louis Hair Restoration, they can do you right. Dr. Polinga is a master. He and the founder, Greg Kryling, patients of their own product. Their office is there in Kirkwood. It's at Lindbergh and Big Bend. You go in there. They'll take a look, give you your options. Maybe they'll say, I don't know, you don't have enough donor hair. Maybe they'll say, oh, like they do to most people, you are perfect for this. We can do you right. That's what they did for me. Tim's going to go in and check it out someday here.
Yeah.
They can help you too. So if it's something that's always bothered you, you only live once. Don't wait any longer. Get in there to St. Louis Hair Restoration. Let them see what they can do for you. The website is stlouishairrestoration.com.
And the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Munganass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown is Munganass, St. Louis Acura, Munganass Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Everyone on this presentation uses Munganass one way or another. Doug, they got you in the Highlander. Iggy, they got you in the Corolla hatchback. Tim drives a Munganass whip. Plowsy and I get our car serviced. Plowsy's got in his van from Munganass, and so many of our listeners work with Munganass because they take care of people. Once you've talked about this before, once you find your automotive people, you never even think twice.
You don't need anyone else.
And it's such a stress off of your back. You know, whether you're trying to buy a new car or a pre-owned car, or you just need to get your car serviced, you go to Munganass, St. Louis Acura, Munganass Burkhardt, Alden Toyota. They'll take great care of you. Clayton Patterson, Pierre Munganass, Jamie Burkhardt, Ryan Cyberg in the service department. Such great people. Plowsy likes going in that waiting room with the snick snacks.
Oh, man, all the coffee machines everywhere.
Big screen TV.
Serious.
They just take wonderful care of you, and they are the 7 o'clock hour sponsor here on TMA, as well as the Munganass Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown.
When I talk about TVs, I keep saying big screen TV. They're all big screen TVs these days.
They're all
right?
flat screen, certainly.
Yeah. There aren't many screens that aren't big nowadays. Maybe you have one in the kitchen, but that's about the only place where you have a small TV.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has less than a 55-inch anymore.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, they sell them for cheap. Did you know that TVs are measured diagonally and not width?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
go
took
from
me.
one corner to the other.
Yeah, took me a while.
It doesn't make sense to do it that way. I don't know why. It used to be the aspect ratio was 4:3, and now it's 16:9. Maybe that's why they do it.
I listen to a podcast called The Rewatchables often. I'm sure plenty of people out there in the listening audience know of it. It's The Ringer. Bill Simmons does a lot of them. They talk about old movies and like really dive deep into them. And Bill Simmons will always say, and I'm sure because you guys are similar ages, like how much movies on TV changed with widescreen TV because movies are made in the widescreen aspect ratio. Well, TV, the old square TVs were like a box. And so you'd miss out a lot on TVs on movies because you're literally like cutting the frame into a third, you know. So once they got the widescreen TVs, movies on TV looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, there weren't a lot of movies on TV.
Well, I guess like HBO. Like I'm talking like HBO. If you had HBO on your square TV.
Yeah, because when we had the 5 channels, I mean, the only movies you saw were maybe old-time movies on Channel 11 at night or made-for-TV movies.
Yeah.
You didn't see any blockbuster movies that came out on TV.
You actually had to go to the picture house to see those.
That's right. The old picture house. But then, I guess HBO would have been the thing. And they shot TV shows in that aspect ratio because they were going to be on the square TVs, but movies did not. And so that's what I've heard.
I remember when we got our first color TV. First color TV was a big thing.
Wasn't there a fear that would cause like radiation poisoning or something if you sat too close?
Well, yeah, the color TV does put out a little bit of radiation. That's why a lot of monitors in TV studios for years were black and white. You know, the director would sit there and punch the buttons.
Right.
So that he didn't have 100 monitors in color TV in front of his face putting out radiation.
Really?
They'd have those monitors in black and white. I think they've got that figured out now. To
I would
radiation
hope.
doses.
I remember we got our first Sony Trinitron. And my dad thought he won the lottery. He was so proud of that TV. He came home with that thing and, look at this, Iggs. You can see another picture up here in the corner when I hit this button. I said, yeah, but it's like an inch. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
God, he was so happy with that TV.
Even viewfinders in cameras would be in black and white so that your eye wasn't right up against the color screen.
Interesting.
I think that might still be the case.
That's good knowledge right there.
Yeah.
Doug, my mom's boyfriend Steve won't let me run my tongue train through the main street of his tough town, leaving me thirsty. Can you help satisfy my craving? It comes from the millennial.
In a word, no. No, I cannot.
What kind of an email is that?
Yeah, it broke our train of thought.
How can you
Tongue train.
How can you sit there and say, I think I'm going to ask Doug if I can lick his butt? And then you email that in or text that in.
Block him.
Did I block him? The millennial?
Speaking of TV, did you see in terms of TV ratings, did you read the article where the Cardinals' season opener against the Dodgers was beaten in the ratings by the Battlehawks game and the Iowa LSU basketball game?
The Ollie effect.
I don't disagree with the
I
Ollie
think
effect,
everything finished second to Iowa LSU.
Yeah, I think they had ridiculous.
Well, they did that basketball game did a 5.2, I think.
In St. Louis, right?
5.9 in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Cardinals did a 4.2.
Ooh.
Battlehawks did a 4.5. Now, the Cardinals played during the day.
That's true.
Makes a big difference.
True.
Battlehawks on a Saturday night.
Yeah, LSU, Iowa on the Monday night.
Yeah, primetime Monday night. That makes a difference. But it's still, that was in St. Louis.
That's just showing you that a lot of people don't either have it or can't get it or have left Bally's. Everybody has Fox. That's what the Battlehawks was on.
Yeah.
I think I'm with
it's
Iggy
a
on this a
factor.
little bit, like the accessibility of the games that were mentioned and having to. I'm telling you, there's still that older generation. I got frustrated. My app doesn't work on my TV. It doesn't work on my PlayStation.
Makes me
just
sign
nothing
in every
works.
time.
So
Brutal.
for me, like I gave up on watching the Cardinals. Now, if the Cardinals were on Fox Sports Midwest, you know, the glory days of Cardinals on television where they put great minute-long clips and all the interviews on their website pretty much immediately and they're seamless and they didn't go bankrupt. Like that, I would watch more games. But I think there is still that generation of people that are frustrated or don't know how to do it.
Yeah. But it is the Cardinals with a flagship sports franchise in this area.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Playing their season opener
Against the Dodgers,
best
by
team
the
in
way.
baseball. And they only did a 4.2 rating.
What do they do opening day on Apple TV?
I have no idea.
I don't have
Because I would be curious to see how many people in St. Louis actually have Apple.
Probably far fewer.
It'll be
probably more
far
because
fewer.
they got, if you got STL City, that's why you got it, and you bought the package, you got Apple.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how many people actually have Apple in St. Louis.
The numbers would be so different because Doug's referencing TV ratings, while Apple would be streamers, like concurrent streamers, and it's tough to kind of either you wouldn't have a
isn't
accurate
Bally's
comparison.
kind of streaming? I mean, you got to have.
No, that's the problem. Is Bally's does not have the streaming rights to the Cardinals. That's the problem. If you don't have cable television, if you don't have a cable provider and a certain cable provider, you cannot watch the Cardinals. You cannot just pay for the Bally's Sports Plus thing where you could stream the Blues. You cannot stream the Cardinals because Major League Baseball does not give the streaming rights to the regional sports networks.
Here in a few
It
years,
sucks.
you're just not
It
even be able to
sucks.
watch sports.
It sucks.
They want you to work for it and earn it like it's a full-time job to get to it.
They want you to pay for it.
They would have everything
Yeah.
taken care of. Not everything, because the app still sucks and it's still obviously up in the air. But you would take care of a lot of the issues if the streaming rights were available to Bally's. But they have to pay for it. I mean, it's not just like MLB is going to give that up. But if you have the streaming rights for the games, it makes a total difference because you could pay something like $25 a month to watch the Cardinals on any device you have, phone, laptop, computer, TV, doesn't matter. And you wouldn't have to pay the whatever $100-some for a cable subscription. And so younger people like me who are cable cord cutters or people who just have never had cable could watch it with ease. But if you live in St. Louis and you want to stream the games, you can't because MLB Network streams them and they black it out in St. Louis. It's antiquated. It sucks. It sucks. It's terrible.
Is it fair to say the root cause of all the price problems are the
Greed.
The money
It's
that
greed.
they pay for players?
No.
You've got a bunch of guys running around making $25 or $30 million a year to play baseball, and it affects the price of everything else.
Yeah.
You're talking about guys who are running $2 billion franchises, though. And I get it, like a small business, these like minimum wage hikes are crippling them. Like paying more for employees are crippling the mom and pop. But this, In Major League Baseball, every team in Major League Baseball ain't a mom and pop. That's a corporation. Those are big businesses. So playing the people who actually generate the money, without the players, how do you think DeWitts are going to make money on the field? I can tell you what, the players will still be able to make money without owner because they can create their own league. They won't make nearly enough money, but it's a player-driven league. So I'm done complaining about $30 million players.
But the players come
when
and
on
go.
the side, DeWitt's and they're building skyscraper, they're building Ballpark Village. I am done feeling bad for owners. I'm sorry. That's a take.
Well, I'm not feeling bad for owners either. They're certainly complicit in all the greed. But the players' salaries is what's really caused everything to cost so much more than it used to.
Right. Well, the TV rights used to keep up with the TV rights, merchandise, concession used to keep up with that. So at a point, when revenue rises, as do player salary. We're now at a point where that's slowing down considerably. Player salary is still rising, as you guys know. Shohei Ohtani is making $70 million a year.
Well, yeah, it's just nuts. It's nuts.
So we're now reaching a point where it's like something's got to give. Now probably they'll start passing that on to the consumer before they start passing it on to the players, whether that be for ticket prices, concession prices, merchandise prices.
Now, who has deals with MLB? Because every day, like I'm watching Schitt's Creek right now, which is on Hulu. So every day when I get home, I go, I have to go to Hulu, and it pops up what's coming up. And there's always a baseball game on Hulu. Yesterday it was Milwaukee was on Hulu. Every day there's a different baseball game on Hulu. Is Hulu just paying money to play random games during the day?
I think they have a deal with either some big network, whether it be CBS or it might be NBC, I'm not positive. But if you were to live in that area, I'm sure it would be blacked out.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that. But still, they have a game on every day. They have more games than ESPN.
But they're simulcasting it. It's not like it's the Hulu broadcast of a game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that they're simulcasting it from a different network that they have a deal with. So it would be a little different than an Apple game, which is they're using their own production crew and their own broadcasters to make the game happen.
You have to be a pretty big baseball fan to just turn on Hulu to watch a random game, because if it's a game that's in your market, if you're in Milwaukee, you don't get to see it. If the Cardinals are on, I'm not going to see it. So just throw some random baseball game up there. Oh, Milwaukee's playing Oakland today. I'm going to watch that. I don't know who's watching it.
I don't know anybody who's watching the Oakland Athletics right now. They're just brutal.
They're 1-6 out of it already.
Yeah. They got more
We're
fans
waiting to
outside
go to Vegas,
protesting.
man. Like, this is the St. Louis Rams of tail end of their time.
With
here.
prices going the way they are, at some point, maybe we're not there yet, or maybe these dismal Cardinal ratings for their opener are a sign that we're getting there. At some point, people are going to say, I'm out. My salary doesn't keep up with the escalating cost of watching the games, go to a game. It just doesn't keep up. I'm out. At some point, we're going to get there.
I think that's part of the reason you see those numbers that you referenced earlier with the opening day ratings. Is people are apathetic towards the Redbirds.
If this had been 10 years ago and I didn't have a ticket right now for opening day, I would probably go down there and pay $10 to park somewhere and buy a $30 or $40 ticket and watch opening day.
Right.
But today I know the ticket would cost me $50 or $60 if I wanted to sit anywhere decent.
Yep.
Parking would cost me that much.
Yep.
A hot dog and a Coke would cost me another $25 or $30. And I'm saying it now. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Are we blaming... And, Doug, I'm not calling you. Are you blaming the players? Or
No,
you
it's,
just,
the whole,
okay.
it's the whole system.
Because that's fair market value, and the players are just getting what the I mean, it's not like, they're going to these negotiations with a couple sawed-off shotgun to the owner's head and say, hey, this is what I want, this is the contract. I mean, they're offering these players the money. It's such a cop-out to blame the players for all the demise. I think the owners have a huge part in it. They have a certain profit margin that they want, and so profit doesn't matter at that certain percentage that they want. And so if they do play more players, then hot dogs are more expensive, parking's more expensive. To blame a player for just getting fair market value, I'm with you. I don't think you're blaming the player, but I know there are a lot of people out there that look at the players and the bad guys. And I just don't get it.
It's the payroll that ultimately causes the prices to go up with everything. I don't blame any player for getting as much as they want. Lord knows if I was a player, I'd try to get everything I
I
could
wasn't
too.
saying you did. Yeah.
But the owners have the money to pay the players all this because they continue to charge outrageous amounts for tickets, concessions, parking, everything else. And the players demand to have more and more money every year. So the owners feel compelled to continue to raise prices. It's the whole system is messed up.
What's funny is you bring that up as I talk about the bow tie bar for several years and being like the last stand for It's not packed. It's not super crowded. You get your $5 cans of beers. It's a perfect spot for my type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they got rid of that and made it an exclusive, super expensive area with high-priced liquor and drinks. And it's like the fans don't want. I just paid $50 for parking.
Yeah.
I just paid $60 for this ticket. Can I not get a beer that's under $20? And that was the place, and now they
It feels like
got rid of that
more
as
like
well.
they're marketing to a smaller, more affluent crowd.
Good luck.
Instead of trying to draw
Good luck.
47,000 people at discounted rates, it feels like maybe they'd rather draw half that and put a bunch of them in suites and everything and charge them
Correct.
3 times as much.
Well, today I would assume today would be a sellout.
Oh,
I
I don't
see
know.
lots of
I
tickets
don't
for
think
sale
it's
on the
sellout.
secondary market.
Yeah, that might be the case.
They said
but
on
they could
on
still be.
TV the other day there's still tickets available.
Okay.
This is weather, though. If it was 75 and sunny, that place is sold
Certainly.
out.
Probably so.
Immediately.
On the Hulu thing, Iggy, Hulu and ESPN are owned by Disney, so it's a simulcast of ESPN broadcast.
Oh, okay. Because that makes sense because the Hulu package is
Right.
ESPN Plus
Plus
and
Disney
Disney.
Plus,
So,
yeah.
okay, good
The-
point.
The test on whether the fans have the appetite to keep spending the money is not on opening day. The test will come in the middle of the season.
Right.
If the team is mediocre.
Right.
Are you still drawing big crowds to pay these ever-increasing prices?
Yeah, totally. And don't blame the owners for $20 hot dogs. It's fair market value. It's from the total package. Big old fan, not a fan of the conversation. I can't believe that Doug tried to blame the players' contracts as the reason with baseball issues. Get a damn clue. A-Rod made the most money in Major League Baseball history. It was engaged to one of the most successful pop stars in the world, and they had to get multiple investors to even make an offer on the team. What a player makes is nothing to what an owner makes. That's ridiculous. That's from Big Old Fan.
And there's a couple of texters wondering if I realized that $2 billion is not in DeWitt's account, and I realized that is not. He's not $2 billion liquid.
Assets, baby.
But it's assets, and it's if you sell the
biggest
team, he has
asset is the
$2.7 billion in a bank account. Then
Now, all of us combined could probably get to $2 billion liquid.
Oh,
Should we buy the Cardinals?
We put in an offer.
Yeah.
I'll lower prices.
So how would you go about buying
I'll slash a
team
couple players'
as a
salaries.
random? Like, let's just say we
Go
want
to the ballpark. You find the nearest concession stands worker and say, hey, I need to talk to Mr. DeWitt.
Mm-hmm.
So you start at the very bottom and you
Yeah,
kind of
you just
grow
work your way up,
yourself
and then eventually you'll get to the office, and you'll put down an offer for $2.5 billion. And then we'll own the Cardinals tomorrow.
How about a hostile takeover?
Like a siege? I don't know if that will work.
Well, they don't have a stock.
No,
In order to do a hostile takeover, you have to buy the majority.
A bear hug, like in the Succession? They can all vote them out? No, they're not publicly traded.
We can just storm Moselak's office,
You're going to attack the Cardinal office.
kick him out, and we'll just take over the desks. And we'll have armored guards in front, and nobody can get in, and we'll just name ourselves president of baseball operations.
It'll go over well.
Yeah, that's got a chance. of
Now, is it
succeeding.
worth being a checkbook team, as Mosel
Just
or
kidding,
as
Mo. Don't
Michaelis
call and
likes to
say
call
I
it?
threatened you.
Because, let's say the Dodgers win the World Series. Now, obviously, the international money from signing Otani and Yamamoto it's a huge number.
Mm-hmm.
But is it worth signing them guys if you win a World Series? What's the value on that?
So I've asked that question.
Because if it's worth it, then you might as well just 1 year just say, screw it, bro. We're just going to go out and spend a ton of money. And if it works out, we profit. If not, then it is what it is.
That's a question I've had in my Whittle Piddles Wide Berth Wednesdays, Doug, that you're such a big fan of. Is what is, when you sign these massive deals, I think it was around when Harper signed with the Phillies maybe, or I can't remember. But when you sign these crazy contracts, what would then vindicate it? What would validate spending that kind of money? Is it just one championship? And I guess it's different for every team. Like someone like the Dodgers, who, yes, have won a World Series in 2020, but not kind of an asterisk by it with the pandemic thing. I think one World Series there might be worth everything that they're spending because LA is certainly a Laker and Dodger town.
And I think people underestimate the international money is
it's huge.
insane.
It's huge.
And that just continues to they're going to be there for 10 years and just a whole generation of that Japanese fan base.
But the
going to be a
Dodgers-
Dodgers fan, it's going to be insane.
The Dodgers sell out every game, and I'm with Jackson asking that question. You sign Otani to almost $1 billion contract. How, unless your franchise goes up from $3 billion to $4 billion as far as what it's worth, and even then you break even.
Right. It's a legacy thing too. There's part of legacy.
I guess when you got that kind of money, you got to spend money to try and win things. I mean,
Yeah.
the point is, I want to win a World Series, so you spend money like the Rams pretty much gave up everything to
They
win
did,
a
yes.
Super Bowl. Now they
I mean, that was in Stan Kroenke's mind. That was a legacy thing. Now the Dodgers are owned by a group as opposed to a singular person or family, like say the Cardinals or like the Rams with Stan Kroenke. But yeah, I don't know how much is a player when you're signing them making $70 million a year. Like, what would justify that? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3 championships? I have no idea.
Well, the problem is that the
different for every team.
The fans' expectation and desires are completely different than the owners. Obviously, the owner bottom line is we want to be profitable.
Yeah, 100%.
No fan cares how much money the DeWitts made. They care about the product on the field and wins. And so it's a hard line to meet with, trying to be fiscally responsible, but also not putting a boring product out there. Then your ticket, then you have no ticket sales, lose a ton of revenue with, obviously the concessions and apparel and all that sorts of thing.
But the Cardinals are a team that have to be fiscally right when it comes to their budget.
Especially right now.
The Dodgers can go out and spend S loads of money. If we come and don't win this year, we'll get them next year. It'll be a failure. It's a failure if they don't win the World Series. Well, the money they spend.
Yeah.
But they can do that. The DeWitts can't do that. And then at the end of the day, an owner is like a parent.
Why can't the DeWitts do that?
Because they're not going to go out and spend all that kind of money for 6-7 year contracts for 3 different players. They just aren't going to do that.
But why? We sell the top 3 amount of tickets. We sell out stadiums.
They don't
local
have the
we have an almost
rights.
$3 billion franchise.
A lot of it's local broadcasting rights.
I get that. That's a huge part of it. But I just don't see why the small market thing has been that's just an annoying conversation.
No, it isn't. The big markets make a lot more money than the small markets. New York makes a ton more money than Kansas City does.
I'm just saying Houston and you should be able to. You should be able to spend comparable to it.
Houston's like the 5th or 6th largest market in the country.
Doug, I'm not comparing it to New York and LA, but I think it's just.
But if you compare it to Milwaukee and Cincinnati, it's apples
an
and
easy
oranges.
thing to say. Well, we didn't get Bryce Harper or Max Scherzer because we're a small market team. We got to think fiscally responsible. It's an easy thing to say, and some of it is true. But I think we use that as a crutch a lot of the time.
Well, it's different in football because they all share the same network revenue, and they're all about.
100%. Yeah, I get that.
But this is like working at a radio station owned by $1 billion corporation or a mom and pop operation, and how much they can pay you. It's different.
The Cardinals spend the 12th most in 2024. The only team in the Central that spends more is the Chicago Cubs, and that is, of course, the 3rd largest.
Makes sense too on that one.
And
I don't think you can judge. Getting back to the Ohtani thing, you can judge the value of a contract. When is it worth it? Based on championships. I think they value it based on how much money that's going to bring in over the length of the contract.
And it will.
If you have a guy that helps you contend and pack a building and get TV ratings and get you to the playoffs, that in itself is what would be worth it, rather than just winning Game 7 of the World Series puts you over the top.
Right.
It's great to have the championships, but it's the effect that he has over the long term, over every game that you play, that's really the difference.
And if that results in a championship and more money, then
Well, they've been a
Bob's your
contender the
uncle.
last 4 or 5 years without him, and they sell out every game.
They don't sell out every game.
They pretty much
They
sell
have
out
the
every
largest. They have the largest attendance in baseball for sure. They don't sell out every.
they also
game.
have the biggest stadium as well, too.
Yeah.
I don't know about
They
that.
didn't sell out one of the Cardinal games.
The Dodgers have the biggest stadium.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Chavez.
I thought it was fairly small.
50,000 or
No,
so.
it's 60 or something. thousand.
Well,
Biggest
50 is
team.
about. A lot of them have gone down into the high 30s and low 40s, but there's a lot of them that are at 45, 50.
Technically, Oakland is, but that's a football stadium, and they
no
don't
one
even
goes.
sniff that. The Dodgers is second at 56,000 is their attendance.
I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah, it's
I've
huge.
been there
Oh,
once,
it's
but I don't
A
remember.
lot of bleacher seats. They
Right.
jam a lot of people in there.
Yeah, and they don't sell out every year, but they do have the best attendance for sure. They also
Mm-hmm.
are in the second biggest market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think having Ohtani is going to.
But it's the Japanese money, too. That's the viewing, the TV money on Japanese markets, merchandise out in Japan, people coming to take trips from Japan to LA just to go see Shohei Ohtani. It's the money, the possibility with money when you talk international is crazy. That's why Ohtani is able to say, I'll defer $68 million of my contract because my endorsement money is so crazy. A lot of that endorsement money comes from Japan.
That's why the Wizards were rolling in money when So Taguchi was on this team.
Oh, no, that's a different thing.
He had a big home run in the NLCS in
He
06.
did.
I won't let you say anything bad
But
about
he
99.
wasn't the best two-way player in the history of the game.
No, he was not. No, he was not. But a big home run nonetheless.
Yeah. When he first came up, we thought, what is this guy doing in the major leagues? He's not a major league
Oh, I
player.
loved that. Was like the first fandom with So Taguchi
Yeah.
for me. Oh, I loved him.
He was a funny dude for a guy that didn't really speak a lot of English. He was funny.
He had that personality. Because you see him,
and a
and it's
funny
like an
name.
oversized jersey. It's number 99, was it? Was he 99?
Oh, yeah.
that
He
sounds
was
right.
99.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, it was a huge moment in my life. I love sports talk with a few guys that really don't know a whole lot about sports or how sports really work. That's from How Good Was the Merkin?
Okay,
That's how good the
stop
Merkin works.
And who are the
Well,
two
we
guys
don't
you're
have
talking about?
finance degrees, and we haven't played baseball before, so we just have to give our opinions
played
as we
college
see
baseball.
them.
We're asking a lot of questions, and I'm sure we got this ratings article. I guess it was a Caesar Ratings Friday.
Is that the name of the piece now? Is Ratings Friday?
Did he break down how the ratings came about? Did he do any research to say in St. Louis down because of this or that, or he just throw numbers out there?
I mean, you can't ignore the fact that it was a weekday during the day for the Cardinal game, while the other two games were either a weekend or prime time on the weekday. That doesn't, that's a big part of it. But, however, this is the Cardinals we're talking about. And Plowsy said he doesn't have degrees, but there's someone in the text line who says Plowboy should be an adjunct professor in sports economics at WashU. That's from Hunchback of Von Castle.
Just adjunct.
I'd ruin a franchise, but also win a couple titles, too. So
Tough to say you do both. How would you
I give the fans what they wanted, but I
like
probably wouldn't make any
financially, you
money.
would tank them
Yeah, I wouldn't be fiscally responsible, but the fans would love it.
for like a week or for like a couple years.
Oh, a couple years, get a
Because you
championship,
just-
some cheap hot dogs, and go, hey, we're actually moving.
Then you
You
got to
throw-
move the team to Mexico City.
You'd throw enormous contracts at players and then slash the prices on everything else. That's how you would do it.
Increase payroll, decrease revenue.
You figure out the revenue later on.
I would be-
Windfalls are coming.
I'd be just the opposite.
Communist.
I'd be an owner. I'd be an owner that'd be like in my box in the first row, and they get done with an inning, and here comes Goldschmidt throwing the ball in the stands. Hey, don't throw the balls in the stands. Those are expensive. Put that back on the mound and use it until it gets out of play.
Like Charlie Finley.
Yeah, I would stop wasting my money by throwing balls into the stands.
Scrooge McDuck.
That bat isn't broken. Just put some tape on it.
No, I don't do that.
Sew up that uniform. You don't need a new one. Stitch it.
Sew up the uniform.
That's only a little smudge. No washing of the uniforms today. Play again tomorrow.
I got a guessing game for you. How many baseballs do you think an MLB team goes through per season?
We've done this, and I forgot the number.
Don't they have to have like 6 dozen on hand?
I'm going to say like 150,000.
Ooh, I'll take way under.
You said a season?
Yeah, on average, each MLB team uses an average of blank baseballs per season.
Oh.
So you're talking batting
162
practice
games.
as well? Like what? What
During the game.
During the game? Oh, probably 85.
Oh, this is just during a game.
Don't make me read the article.
Read it. Just read it one more time.
That isn't important because if we're talking batting practice and
BP, they
field
can
work,
shell out bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
but if
thousand
it's
right there.
during the game, then
But if you're talking about here's your shipment of baseballs, you do whatever you want with them. Just
Yeah,
make sure
right,
you're ready
right.
to play the games.
the number might be crazy.
Yeah, this is game used.
Okay. All right.
Game used.
I will say 1,400.
Oh, it's got to be more. If they play 162,
But if you're talking about how many did the team use, that would only be home games. So you're cutting that in half, right?
well, do you have to bring your own balls if you go on the road?
I assume that the home team provides the baseballs.
And think about foul balls, home runs, general wear and tear.
Yeah.
Well, the ball goes out of play unless it's a strikeout. But every out, the ball goes out of
I'm
play.
doing
Yeah.
70 grand. I'm doing 70,000 balls.
Are you doing
I am.
70,000? That seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot.
I'll say 30,000.
You're both too high,
Yes, come on.
especially
10,000?
Plowsy.
Oh, I knew that, but I just wanted to.
10,000?
15,000 per year.
Okay.
That's
I
sad. That
technically
seems
win.
so small. Such a small number of balls.
15,000 is a lot of baseballs.
I guess if you put it on a field, and
Like if
showed the
we
balls,
dumped 15,000 baseballs in here, it would be pretty jarring.
And you know what they do when they, a ball gets scuffed or a ball gets thrown out of play? You see the player, the catcher, just throw it to the dugout. They take those and they put what inning that was, and they go sell them in the gift shop. You can go buy used baseballs from a game in the Cardinal gift shop.
But what's the point of that? Isn't like half the battle of that like catching it and getting it yourself?
Yeah. You wonder how many they sell.
Little kid doesn't know the difference.
I guess, but I don't know if I I want to teach my kids that.
I'm sure some of them.
You want that ball,
batting
you got to
practice
earn it. You
balls.
got to get in the outfield and run after that ball.
I used to have fun. I told you when I first started, producing, and then the really first producer job I had where I did things was with Jerry Gross, and I got my first Cardinal credential, which that would have been like probably 94. That's back when Kip Engel was still the PR guy. And that's where I went into the dugout, or I went back into the, what's his name? Neil Allen was warming up, and I went down and bothered him. Hey, Neil, you going to do this interview? I'm kind of warming up right now. But I used to go sit in the, I get there early, I go sit in the bleachers during batting practice and just grab all the home runs that came up and put them in my bag.
And then do what with them?
And I'd give them to the kids that I was leaving. I'd just hand them out to like kids I'm walking down.
You were Peter Pan, weren't you?
Can you imagine? I see, is that guy with the media? He's out there just grabbing home run balls out of the bleachers.
It's a bad look.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, that's kind of been the slogan of your life.
I didn't know any better, sorry.
Mm-hmm. There's the title of your book.
I'd sell my used rubbers, but when I'm in Gape Cod, I raw dog that ass. That's from recovering
Didn't
alcoholic.
need it. Did not need that.
I don't really love that
in
text.
Webster Groves. You don't like Gape Cod?
Actually, that is kind of funny. Thinking back, that ain't kind of a good.
Ushers are doing the same thing. Sometimes they gotta fight the usher over the ball.
You think they use 70,000 baseballs for 162 games? That'd be 382 baseballs per game. Good Lord, that joke wasn't funny the first 20 times you said, Iggy, we get it, you're cheap. That's from Big Old Fan.
What joke was that?
I think that's in reference to the stop throwing balls away ball.
Well, it's not a joke. I probably would try to find ways to cut back. It's just stupid to throw a ball into the stands.
Well, it makes a fan for life, though. You give a fan a really big thrill, maybe he'll come back another game.
I don't care.
Sentiment is not going to be one of your core tenets when you own a ball club.
You give him a ball that you spent maybe $3 or $4 for, and the fan's going to come back and buy a $50 ticket again because he was so excited, had such a great time at the game. Doesn't that make sense?
That's how you can sign an autograph for him. You don't have to throw a ball to him.
Well, they don't always have time to sign autographs.
We'll make time. I'll do that too. You're going to make time. 20 minutes before every game, you guys are going to go out here in the first round. You're going to sign for the kids.
Well,
if it's an old guy, push him to the side. I'm not signing for anybody over 17.
I used to love down at spring training watching the older people just line up outside where the players drive out. Just couldn't wait for autographs.
Yeah, I know. It's odd. But there's a lot of times during a baseball game, the last out, ground ball to short, throw to first, he's out, first baseman jogs off the field, flips the ball into the crowd. He can't sign an autograph there. Someone gets a big thrill for having that ball that Paul Goldschmidt tossed him. You don't like that idea? It happens every game.
A lot of times it's not a kid. Some adult will jump in front.
So what if it is?
And I
The
bet
adult's still going to buy the ticket.
99% of the time, that kid won't remember it, and is not a lifelong fan after that.
Oh, I don't think 99%. I remember catching a ball when I was a kid, and that was like really, that was truly, that was a foul ball, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like I was, my hand was shaking for the entire game afterwards. I couldn't
Thinking
believe
someone might take it from you.
I snagged an Ankiel home run one time.
Yeah, well, that's just a thought of that ball was in play by major league players a minute ago, and now it's in my hands.
Yeah.
Is something that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm being, Mr. Folksy over here. But
No, as a kid, yeah, I see adults.
Yeah, there's
diving for balls and
What's that
knocking
guy's
people
name?
out of the way. What? It's a
I know you're
baseball.
Yeah.
Zach, is it Zach Hempel?
Hypo or Hempel? Yeah.
The guy who catches all the home run balls.
What about the guy?
He gets them before the game. And the
Right.
key is you show up in the jersey of the visiting team.
Yep.
And so they see, oh, we're from Milwaukee. There's a fan. There's one of our fans. Throw him a ball.
Yeah, it's especially good for if like you're an East Coast team on a West Coast road trip where you have almost no home fan or your team's fans.
Yeah.
Baseball's not good. Now, as a kid, during the hockey game, we used to love to get there for practice, and we'd be down in the parquet seats. And a lot of the players, after the warm-up, they would always flip the pucks into the crowd. And we'd always get a puck or two from the game. That was kind of cool, because I had the Blues logo on it.
What's the cutoff for wearing a glove to an MLB game?
Depends on where you sit.
Yeah, if you're in the 400 level, like right field, way up there,
Just sitting on the edge of your seat, just praying one.
That's a no.
you can leave the glove at home. It also depends if you have children now. Like if you're in your 30s or 40s and you have a young kid with you who wants to catch a ball but might not be able to, and you bring your glove, that's totally acceptable.
I think over the age of 12 is weird. Right? Like, once you almost hit high school, aren't you out of that? If you're
Yeah,
doing it for
maybe.
safety or protection is one thing, but just trying to look cool or
If you're
trying
gonna
to
go for-
actually catch a foul ball,
If you're going to go early for batting practice, a glove would be nice. If you got a seat right over the outfield wall, a glove would be okay. I don't mind. If you're having fun with it, go for it.
I really don't care either way. But you asked about the age.
Yeah.
I think after 12 or 13, I think you're good.
I took my son Nick to a game 2 or 3 years ago. It was Yadier Molina tumbler night, so we had to get there 2 hours early
Oh,
to
dude,
stand
that
in line.
place
You don't have many of those Yachty tumblers, do you?
3 or 4. So we get in, and the line wasn't quite as long as I thought. So we're in there 2 hours before the game. We walk in, there's about, it couldn't have been more than a few hundred people in the stadium. The Pirates are taking batting practice. He says, can we go down in the right field area and maybe catch a home run ball? I said, okay. So we go in the right field bleachers. He did bring a glove for this very moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he yells at one of the Pirate outfielders who's standing there shagging flies, hey, throw a ball this way. The outfielder picks the ball up, turns right to him, throws a perfect BB strike right to my son, catches it in the bleachers. We hadn't been in the stadium 3 minutes. Catches the ball, and he says, okay, we can go now.
Got the tumbler, got the ball.
Yep.
Efficiency right there.
And that's great for you. You don't have to sit
strike.
through the whole game. You got your ball, you got the tumbler.
Yeah, I can just sit and relax and watch some Redbird baseball.
Yeah, if you're going to BP, it's a completely. I just meant walking around or sitting at the stadium with your glove in hand after 13. But if you are going to BP, it makes sense to not barehand a bomb.
Oh, brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. With
Let the guy behind you take the shot, and then you grab the rebound.
It may look cool, but that thing, it just got to be pulsating for like 2 innings.
Well, it's 2. I've dropped 2, and that's the closest I've really gotten. I mean, I have some like rolling around in the seats around me, but one, we were on the railing right behind home plate, and we were on the row seat at the railing. Well, it's a pop-up, and I got it. I'm just hanging over the railing, right in my hand. It hits my hand. That thing is spinning so much. It was in the palm of my hand and spun there for about 2 seconds before I could close my hand. Spun right out.
Oh, he lost it.
I mean, they're just hard to catch unless you get like a little blooper towards you.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
the
rebound.
pop fly, man, the
You want the
spin on
rebound.
that.
Yeah. In the days before they had the fence that went from the dugout to the foul pole, there could be some wicked line drives down there.
Oh, yeah.
Right around in the first lower deck of the left
Past
field
the
or first
dugout,
base.
yeah.
And sometimes someone would hit a line drive right to you, and you say, I got it. And then at the last minute, you go, no, going too hard. And it would hit just tattoo the guy right behind you.
52 is the age you can wear a glove to the game. Doug always brought his glove to do on-field interviews for KMOV.
I did, yeah. Just in case there's a foul ball.
Now, when we went to our TMA day at the ballpark last year, I left in the 7th inning, and I guess they filmed it. I don't know how it was on TV or guy had a camera, but one of the guys who came for the TMA, one of our
we were right
listeners,
there.
yeah, got the ball, but it went flying right through my seat if I'd have been there.
Yeah, the great thing about that was we captured Jackson live in the moment. He had taken the over, and that home run that put whoever they were playing up,
San Francisco.
that little sly smile of yours.
Well, hey, I had a vested interest in the Redbirds and the Giant. I didn't care how they were going to score runs. I just thought they were going to score runs.
Yeah, I saw that, and I said, wait a minute, that's my seat. I was in the back row. That thing went right through my seat, hit the wall, and the guy got it on the camera.
You could have been badly injured if you hadn't left.
I wasn't paying attention. I probably wouldn't have seen it.
Guys, here comes the ball landed where he was sitting story. It's from the Big Old Fan.
Oh.
God, I don't think I've ever told that story. So you typed that after I said it.
I was at a Cards game when I was young, and Brian Jordan was in right. He turned to toss a ball into the stands after the I'm just reading this in the prompter, after the between inning warm-up, and it was headed right towards me. I jumped to try to catch it, but some fat-ass middle-aged man jumped in front of me and deflected off his hand and nailed me in the face, breaking my glasses. We both fell, and he rolled over top of me in the aisle to grab the ball. I got nothing but broken glasses and couldn't even enjoy the rest of the game because I couldn't see. I was 15 at the time. Memories. That's from the 5-7
Yeah,
period.
fun. I remember the old football Cardinal days. They didn't used to put up a big net behind the goalpost.
And you just catch
and if
the football?
the football went in, you could keep the football.
Really?
There's a pretty awesome video of a guy, like I don't think it was in St. Louis, but he like jumped from his seat into the opening behind the goalpost and like caught it as it was.
I remember that video, yeah.
You can still keep the ball.
I don't know that you get to
can't.
keep the football.
They give you
Yes, you do.
They give you another. What they do is you catch the ball, and then they take that ball because they have to review it Deflategate season to make sure that the ball is regulation. But they'll give you the same kind of ball.
So you get a ball out of it.
You get a ball. You just don't get that exact ball because they have to make sure.
But they almost all have a big screen behind the goalpost.
They do, yeah. It's rare to catch.
Not many stadiums where they're kicking balls into the crowd.
It would be like a quarterback throws it out of the back of the end zone in the red zone, and it goes into the stands.
Or someone scores a touchdown and fires the ball.
Fires it, or hands it to a fan.
Yeah.
They'll take that ball back, but they'll give you another ball so that they can make sure that ball is.
How often does a hoop rock ball end up in the audience?
It happens often, I would say.
You get to keep it?
No. They have to use that ball. They gotta keep playing.
Well, they have other balls.
Of course,
sure.
but once you start the game with said ball, you have to keep playing with that
You ever
ball.
had a player fall into the stands on top of you?
In a basketball game, I've fallen on top of other patrons once in a high school game.
Oh, did you?
I've told this story before, so go ahead and get ready for the text.
Oh, gosh.
At a Lady Bears game, I fell asleep. I was at the table, media table, right on the court, and I fell asleep, and an Arkansas player dove for a ball and went right in my lap. What's going on here?
How could you fall asleep at a college basketball game?
You wouldn't fall asleep at a Caitlin Clark game.
It was boring. I won't say that. Jackie Stiles going to join us tomorrow. I won't tell her that
Hey, look at that! Look at that! Little programming news and notes. Jackie Stiles. What time tomorrow, Eggs?
9:05. She can talk a little bit about Caitlin Clark, and I want to ask her the difference between her and Caitlin as far as getting any publicity, and we can break down the women's Final Four, maybe a little men's Final Four if you want.
All right. Well, all the tournament talk on this presentation is brought to you by James Carlton. Your one shining moment is going to carltoninsurance.net today to see how much you can save on car, home, and life insurance. Plowsy, can I hear a little bit about our lovely sponsor? That's James Carlton.
James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency is my insurance agent. He's the Plowhawks insurance agent, and I would love for him to become your insurance agent as well. I personally made the switch 5 years ago to work with James, and when I did, they did all the paperwork for me. Couldn't have been any easier. And now that I've made the switch, I see the difference. You can go online and type James Carlton State Farm Insurance in Google, and you will see 353 5-star reviews. I'll just scroll through here and pick one. Here we go. I just switched my business vehicle to James Carlton State Farm. Mike was great to work with. He explained the changes in coverage and was able to save me a considerable amount on my coverage. I will be sending my other coverage to James Carlton to see what he can do. That's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves, 314-961-4800. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves, online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
And Design Air brings you the email of the day in which Blueberry Pop Pop what did you say, KG and O-Town?
I never say knee. No, I don't ever say.
Also known as KG and O-Town, in a stunning development yesterday that was revealed as Blueberry Pop Up with his 14 wins last month. We also have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up today. Buck Swope, Shooter McGavin, and JV Golf Coach each have a win. You can enter the win by emailing in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air Heating and Cooling. Let's take a look at the weather, Doug, for opening day here in St. Louis, the home opener. I keep saying opening day, but it's the home opener here in St. Louis. Right now, 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
And we were told winter was over. We were told that.
39 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll get to, by first pitch, it'll be about 50 degrees with clouds. Wind gusts coming out of about the northwest, 26 mile per hour wind gusts, 12 miles per hour winds. Feels like 31 out there right now. So, I usually say it's early April, get that AC looked at right now, even though maybe your furnace might be on a morning like today. But you can get that AC tuned up for the summer because you know it's going to get hot with Design Air Heating and Cooling. Seth Goldcamp. There's generations of work with Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling. You can hit that Book Now tab at designairservice.com and you can get taken care of before the warm weather hits. Right now might be a good time before it gets crazy busy. That's Design Air Heating and Cooling, the sponsor of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Cold one today, Doug. So Lance Lynn on the bump. Ryan Weathers on the mound for Miami Marlins. He's 24 years old, so you got a pretty big age discrepancy in starting pitchers today.
Hopefully he has a bad game that we can say, well, the weather sucked yesterday for the home opener, but so did Weathers.
That's nice. That's just real nice, Clark.
Back to you in the studio, Steve. Clark. Yeah, so big age discrepancy on today's pitching matchup. We'll talk more about the Cardinals coming up. We'll also We also have some other stuff to talk about. I was going to
Sure,
tease some
lots
things to
of
talk
stuff.
about, but
Lots of stuff.
we have a ranking of the top 30 Major League Baseball starting rotations. You might be surprised where the Cardinals fit into that. Into that
A little
list.
higher than what we would have thought?
I guess you have to wait and find out.
Okay.
That's all coming up on the other side of the break. We're going to close out the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour, 8 o'clock hour coming on the other side of the break. This is The Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today.
Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Temperatures are finally warming up here in St. Louis, and while that means more fun in the sun, it could also spell disaster for your lawn. Rain equals spring weeds, and now is the best time to get ahead of it. Green Envy has been here in St. Louis for more than a decade, servicing and treating lawns just like they would their very own. Crabgrass can lay dormant for years until the conditions are right, and the massive amounts of moisture we've had is sure to wake up even the oldest crabgrass seeds. Green Envy only uses products that have been formulated for Missouri soil, weather conditions, and turf types, not national generic products that are insufficient and ineffective. Let the experts at Green Envy help you choose the best treatment program for your lawn this season. Phone lines are open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and Saturday 9 to 1 to take your calls and answer questions. Call Green Envy today at 636-757-1600 or visit greenenvylawns.com and make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
John, I'm so tired of this kitchen. We haven't updated anything since we moved in. The stove looks like it's from the 90s, and the rest is... Are you even listening to me?
Did you say something, honey? Yeah, no, kitchen's fine. We have cabinets. There's food in the cabinets. We're good.
Oh my God.
Guys, if this sounds a little familiar, trust me, your wife is probably right. It's time for a remodel. Collier & Thompson is the company to trust. Not just for kitchens and bathrooms, but for any interior remodeling job. Need a new man cave? Collier & Thompson. Office, Collier & Thompson. Bar, you got it, Collier & Thompson. They even do wine rooms and fireplace walls. Collier & Thompson is your go-to source for every design consideration. They carry the best cabinets, appliances, and countertops in the business. And better yet, it's all under one roof. No need to drive around to 5 to 10 different businesses for one job. At Collier & Thompson, they do it all. Their showroom is on Manchester Road in Baldwin, right next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Let Collier & Thompson bring your dream remodel to reality and come home to quality. Online at collierandthompson.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown and Crouppen, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown and Crouppen, justice is our business.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball. Tired of it.
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Yeah, that Plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption from Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs, St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center, and All Paws Safe Haven. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Butter me up, Daddy.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPNT-FM HD2.
This is a
You
banger
never
right
seem
here.
usual in the flesh. Cut your teeth on champions rings on TV.
Man, this is
We are proud of our address in a baseball town where everyone's envy. But every team is like Wainwright's curveball, Carpenter's on base again. Yachty calls a perfect game. Beltron's clutch again. It don't seem fair. You're still winning games in your dream. But everybody's like Holidays, RBIs, Cosmos, great defense. October Freeze back again. JJ scaled another fence. You don't care. Keep watching us from your chair. You will never be Cardinals, Cardinals. It don't run in your blood. The kind of luck is just for us. We crave it October buzz. We're gonna be your rulers, rulers, kings of the MLB. Go crazy, Buck, go crazy. We're living your fantasy.
They'll be singing this in the 400 level today.
They should probably play this in the stadium after every win.
Keep it piled up, Plowsy. We need to hear it.
Doug, that'd be too fun.
Players don't
But I
ask
think
to
it's
be
serious.
overpaid in our city. And everyone who knows them knows that the fine with them, they love the fans, not money.
That's it, right there.
But every team is like
Welcome back.
Insane.
The morning after, presented by Brown and Crouppen. Home opener today, and there's nothing that gets me in the mood for some Redbird baseball than hearing they love the fans and not
the money.
Not the money.
In this city, we cut our teeth on championship rings.
Yeah. Players know to wash their hands. Oh, there's that. That's just the gift that keeps on giving right there. Welcome back, Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Get involved in the presentation today by texting in on the Jeff Lotman text inbox 314-881-TMA5 or call in 636-904-TMA, the Callier and Thompson phone lines. And speaking of the Callier and Thompson phone lines, Doug, Mr. Licks is on.
Oh, is he on the line?
He is on the line. Mr. Licks, good morning to you, Mr. Licks. Go Cardinals.
Hey, go Cardinals.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
No. Easy, Dave. When Tim's out, this show feels so raw.
Yeah.
No, that's a good way of describing it.
Full of emotion.
That's right. Uncut.
I love it. Yeah, how's everyone doing?
Oh, we're fine. We're fine. You got any hot takes?
I do have hot takes. So, for Jackson.
Yes, sir.
This is a question I would like an answer to. So, F, marry, kill.
Okay.
And your three options are Cillian Murphy, Sydney Sweeney, and Zendaya.
Zendaya. Wow. Well, if I have to, as a heterosexual gentleman, I think I'll marry Sydney Sweeney. I think I'll have relations with Zendaya, and unfortunately for my guy, I'm gonna have to knock him out. But that it wouldn't be easy, you know. It would be a crime of passion, because I love Cillian.
You wouldn't get the other two because you'd be in prison.
Right. So it's tough. It's a tough question, but I think all three of them are fantastic, and I love all their works. So it's a tough.
Yeah.
Tough one. I can't wait for Zendaya's new movie Challengers coming out soon.
Haven't heard of it.
That's fair.
Hey, Lex, how you feeling ahead of your matchup with Iggy?
I'm excited. I'm really not nervous at all about it. I don't think it's going to be all that hard. I've seen Iggy on the golf videos. By the looks of it, he's not a 17 handicap.
Oh, wow.
So
Accusation.
I feel confident that myself getting strokes, it should be pretty easy. I don't know that we'll get far into the back nine.
Yeah. Will it bother you being in the same group as Tim? Is that going to wrestle the nerves at all?
That's going to kick it up a notch for me. That's going to get the adrenaline pumping. I'm going to try and get there early and maybe get those nerves out. Iggy, I thought I'd bring you some treats, maybe some nachos, since you've never had one before. What do you think about that?
No, I don't eat on the golf course, so don't bring me anything.
Boy, you're all business over there.
No, I never eat on the golf course.
Why not?
I don't know, I don't get hungry when I'm on the golf course.
You don't have a bratwurst at the turn?
No, I don't drink on the golf course either.
You're all business.
No, I just don't. I'm not going to get
all his faculties.
Tipsy while I'm playing golf.
Well, I like getting a little buzz going, a little transfusion buzz, a little Malaga
Hey, do you like music? Can we play music?
Sure you can. Depending on what kind of music.
Los Lonely Boys?
Yeah, I just don't like people that play rap when they're playing, because all you hear is just boom, 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 and then cussing.
One time I was playing at Gateway and paired up with two gentlemen, and they played EDM for the entire 4.5 hour round.
Oh, God.
And, you know, I don't like to judge people's music taste, and if you like EDM, God bless, I've liked some of the EDM songs. It's not what I want to hear on a hot day on the golf course, personally. The big booty mix.
No, nothing bothers me. You can play music. I don't mind people talking in my backswing. That doesn't bother me.
How are you two going to decide who drives the cart?
Ooh, it's a real power move. The top drives.
Whoever gets there first. Whoever's there first.
I might have to walk. There's a lot of people that have reached out to me that have said they want to come, so I may have to walk with the gallery.
That's fine with me.
Man of the people.
By the way, somebody texted me, KG. I don't know what this means. Somebody texted me and said, "Can you ask KG what his handicap is? They can't find it."
Ooh, hold
Mine?
on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do I need to send that to? You can tell me off the air if you'd like.
No, I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know why, Doug, but the tension just rose.
It sure
So why don't you tell us what it is, though?
16.5 where we stand now.
Okay.
Okay. Licks, will you
Iggy,
ask
why
for
do you
a...
Iggy, why do you seem so bitter this morning? Why are you in such a down mood?
I haven't really. We've talked about sports and ratings all morning. I haven't been bitter about a lot of things. Matter of fact, I've been bitter about anything, so I don't know what you're listening to.
You weren't very complimentary towards KG about the Blueberry Pop-Pop reveal. One of the greatest moments in recent
it
show
wasn't that
history.
big of a deal. So who cares? What do you want me to comment on? Oh my God, that is shocking! God Almighty!
Good voice inflection, though.
Mm-hmm.
Can't deny that right there.
I mean, you may find it exciting. I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah, but do you guys remember that podcast, Pepper and Genie?
Mm-hmm. I do.
You guys did that for like 6 months, and not a single sponsor, like one time, stepped up to buy a single spot.
And what's your point?
I don't think any. I don't think any potential sponsor would even listen to that.
What is your
Right?
point?
Well, why did that last so long?
Because we enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Passion project.
And then we stopped enjoying it, so we stopped doing it.
The more annoyed the fan base got with it being on the podcast feed, I think we went another 4 months after that, just because it pissed people off.
And it's the same reason. Why do you keep calling? Your calls suck. Nobody likes hearing from you, but you keep doing it.
But not one part of you was like, man, let's just get one sponsor so I can at least get a couple dollars in my pocket.
Well, me and Plowsy aren't salespeople. We don't sell it.
Am I calling 5 guys right there off of Old Ballast Road, asking, hey, do you guys want to sponsor a podcast we do? We just had an episode about pubes.
KG had some sponsors lined up. That's
true. Well, he didn't, so that's the whole point, because we did it another couple months after he said that he had that, and there were no sponsors, so it's another falsehood. But, I mean, we thought we had one, but they heard the show, and they said, we don't want to sponsor this. I mean, they're talking about pubes and banging girls and this and that, so I don't blame them. There's certain people that, want to do it, but then they hear what the show's about, and they're not interested. I get that.
Well, why don't you talk about more scaled down
They're going to be
topics?
boring.
Oh, there's a lot of radio shows that don't talk about pubes and porn and aren't boring.
Name one.
Yeah, good point. Name one. We talk about it quite a bit on the morning after.
Well, like you. I'm sorry, Jack.
No,
Go
please.
ahead.
No. You're the caller. You're the guest.
Yeah, go
Well, but I'm just curious, like, of all the things that have been sponsors on the show, like, they sponsor all sorts of random things, like Doug's Logule. Like, you couldn't have gotten one single sponsor for Pepper and Genie?
Why do you care?
Oh, come on now.
And again, we're not salespeople. Me and Plowsy are not salespeople. If the
Did you
salespeople
ask
could
the
sell it,
salespeople
fine.
how
If
it was
people don't
going?
want to buy it, you can be the greatest salesperson in the world, but what is Pepper and Genie about? And it's Plowsy and Iggy, and nobody knows who we are. That's fine. We gave it 7 months, and that was it. They didn't sell it, so we didn't do it. It's no fault of
When
anybody's.
when you asked them how it was going, what did they say?
I'm not going to tell you what happens around here. It's none of your business.
Oh. Gosh.
Mr. Licks, there's a texter named Zach's wife Gummy, and they're asking which South County blue-collar cash-only dive bar is Licks watching the game at today with his Walleye friends because they scheduled to have off today. That's Zach's wife Gummy.
You don't have to answer that, Licks.
Yeah, I'm not taking questions today. That's a ridiculous question. I'll be in a private area, and I'm not going to tell you where.
Yeah, sure you are.
All right. Well, I didn't have much else to say.
You never do.
I just want to say, go Cardinals.
Well, one
Nice
question.
sentiment.
Your confidence level, 0% to 100% on you defeating Iggy on April 28th at Gateway, Mr. Licks.
100%. It's not even. I'm not even worried about it. I
So
kind of want to
losing-
just get it over with, so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Wow.
How many pops is he getting? I'm down to 17.5. I keep going down. I haven't played golf in a year. I'm at 17.5 now. What are you, Licks?
Let me pull up my.
I think I had you at a 22, Licks.
You'll probably end up 3 pops.
And it's what, 80%?
75%, I think. So you get probably 3 pops, 2 or 3, 3 pops.
How do you factor in the half?
I don't know on that. It's a good
22
question.
minus 17.5.
Well, but 75% of the handicaps is how we play it. So you wouldn't get the full. What would that be? 4 or 5 pops. You get 75%.
Yeah, you always go to the...
You round down or up?
I don't know.
KG, you're the commissioner.
He can round whoever he wants. I don't care.
That's a question for Chairman Barnes. I'm just a logistics guy.
Oh,
Keep passing the buck, baby. Nah, I get it.
And I
the
think
commissioner, go ahead and make a decision.
And
on
I
that.
think Gateway figures out the handicaps. When you get your scorecard, it will...
Well, don't we plug it into the app and it shows you the course? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but they'll do
doesn't
that.
Come up with,
Yeah, they'll do that on the scorecard.
And there'll be a scorecard that'll have dots on what holes you get pops on, so they'll figure it out.
what tees do we play?
White, the white tees. Seniors can have the option to play the forward tees, but then their handicap would reflect that since you'd be changing the course rating in tee boxes.
Iggy, are you playing the senior or white?
No, I said I'll play the whites.
Yeah, take the pops.
You a lefty, Licks?
Yes, I am.
Ooh.
Wow. Development.
Yeah. Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Will you race Iggy to the cart to see who gets to drive?
A lot of fescue on the left, so your slice will be...
I am used to being driven. I would like to be driven. So, yeah, I don't like driving the cart.
Okay.
That's fine.
So
You
Iggy can drive
me
the
around.
teeter ball. All right. You all right
I
with
would
that,
be
Iggy?
nervous.
I don't care. I'm not even paying it. I didn't even put much thought into it.
This is classic, like, oh, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, I never do. This is like, what, the sixth one, seventh one? I've yet to really care. I go out and I have fun. Normally I have fun until I had to play you and Daddy Padre.
Oh, come on.
It's not so much fun, but every other time it's fun.
You think they
whether I win or
intentionally
lose.
pair you with people that you don't care for? Just for
No,
the
this
drama
one
of
and
it
the
all?
Padre
You
one
wanted
was...
this, though,
This
no.
one and the other one was set up.
You wanted this, though.
Yeah, I want to beat him, but
Hell yeah.
I don't really want to spend 18 holes with him, so I might get this thing over with quickly.
No.
Well, there's something on the line. If I lose, I think the deal is I can't call or text or anything.
No, there's nothing on the
for,
line. There's nothing on the line. Just
Oh, okay.
Just pride, baby.
It's pride.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you lose, you'll have to call in and kiss the ring, essentially. I mean, that would just be if we're being fully transparent here.
I'll kiss it.
All right.
I'll kiss it. Hey, actually, I do. Could I clear my conscience for a second?
Oh, please.
I suppose.
One last thing. I've been thinking about this, Iggy, and it's been bothering me. When you were at Hito and doing your thing for all those, however many years you went, when you were there, would you ever go south on another female?
It's a good question.
No, it's a stupid question, but no, because I didn't really know. I mean, I have to know somebody pretty well to do that.
That is like a big relief because it was really worrying me that maybe you did do stuff like that, and I didn't like the picture of that down at Hito.
No, I was very careful because I don't know these women, so I'm always wearing a condom, and I'm not going to do that when I don't know the person.
This guy practices safe sex.
Yeah, he sure does.
And that's admirable.
Yeah.
But were there other guys that would do that?
I'm sure there were.
You never saw it?
Well, a couple times out on the raft, but it was kind of far away. I'm not
On the raft?
I'm not like right next to them doing it.
this place
when the
sounds so
girls,
hot.
the couples I was with, the guy never participated. But yeah, if they do anything like out on the dock or in a raft, you could see what's going on.
No.
You're far enough away, you're not really seeing it.
Why would that happen on the dock or on a raft?
Maritime foreplay.
Well, you're asking me if I saw it. The only way I would have even seen
Name of the
something like
segment.
that is if it was out in the open. I don't know what they're doing in their bedrooms.
Oh, no, what about like the jacuzzi or the pool or the wherever?
I don't think I
The
saw it.
bushes.
I don't think I saw it in the jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi, again, that falls into the maritime banner.
Maritime foreplay.
Because that would have to be up on top of the jacuzzi, and most people were under the water doing it. So.
Need a snorkel.
Under the water.
Well, their bodies were submerged in the hot tub.
Oh, Lord.
With their head
That
popping out.
sounds.
No,
Yeah, I
not
feel
the-
so bad
Chlorine.
for the. Feel so bad for the water.
Careful for the jerk chicken.
Oh, with a lot of chemicals going in that thing during dinner time. They
Good to
close
put
it.
your
They
mouth
close the hot tub after
Bring a
jerk
dental
chicken
dam.
happy hour, and then just close it for 2 hours. Just throw so many chemicals in there, nothing could live.
Oh, Doug, let's go tomorrow.
Oh. It's no wonder they don't give you the free tickets anymore, the free week-long stays.
Why?
It just sounds like a disease factory.
No, it's because now they just overcharge everybody. It becomes a swinger resort, and
Well, wasn't it always a swinger resort?
it's upward of $400 per night. which is just ludicrous. Yeah, some of the beach loafers are going back this year. Fran and Bob are going back for Bob's birthday. A couple others said, "Yeah, we'll join you. We're going back this year."
And you were a beach loafer? Or?
Beach loafer. I have
What was the other one?
No interest in going back.
Nutter fluffers.
Fluffer Nutter.
Fluffer Nutters.
Well, the guy that was part of the Fluffer Nutters bought the resort.
Sure he did.
He's now the owner, and he still walks around naked with the Fluffer Nutters. You own the thing now.
Yeah.
You can't come walking around.
He bought it
naked.
because he wants some action.
Well, he got action. His wife got action with Zane.
That's right.
He's the guy that hooked his wife up with Zane for
That's
a welcome to Hito party.
Remember that. Yeah, Zachary Zane.
Here comes the Welcome to Hito song again.
Ripping and a tearing.
Yeah. Oh.
Hito Rick.
That guy's become a legend.
Yeah, okay. Hey, thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you for the call.
And, shout out Mr. 10,000. See ya.
I'll see you later today, Licks.
Man. All right, Licks.
What Mr. Licks. Mr. Licks on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Doug, can you tell us about our sponsor of the phone lines? That's Callier and Thompson.
Well, this is where you go when you want it done right. If you have some kind of remodel or rehab in mind, and you don't want to fool around with a bunch of different contractors, you don't want to fool around with some part-time guy, you want it done right by the best people in town, this is where you go. You go to Collier and Thompson because you want a commitment to quality. You get a Collier and Thompson remodel, and that's a great investment in your home. And don't wait until you're ready to move out of the house. You think, well, we got to fix the house up so we can move out. Don't do that and let someone else enjoy what you do. Do it now while you live in the house, and it'll still be there, and it'll still look great when the time comes to sell the house. Collier and Thompson can do anything at all in your home. You need a kitchen redone, a bathroom redone with high-end appointments. You want a basement finished. You want a wine room, a man cave, a bar, an accent room, a fireplace wall. You want walls knocked down in the first floor of your home to open things up. Collier and Thompson does it all, and they've been doing it since the 1950s. The owners there, Carolyn Beard and Bob Strade, absolutely first-class people, been there for more than 20 years. A lot of their contractors have been around for many, many years. They don't just hire anybody. They hire the best in town. So when you get a Collier and Thompson job, you know that it's going to be done as well as anyone can do it in town. Very deep showroom, more than 10,000 square feet in their showroom there to give you an idea what they can do with a kitchen, with a bath, whatever. I can tell you service and quality is the #1 priority at Collier and Thompson. This is where you go when you want the very best. Let them work on your remodel. Collier and Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier and Thompson, come home to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
That's Callier and Thompson. They sponsor the phone lines, and the sponsor of the text line is Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty. Plowsy, can I hear a little bit about Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty?
We heard something
He's
there.
the sponsor of the text line that we use so frequently on this presentation.
If you are in the market to buy a home, if you are in the market to sell your home, I would like to recommend our text inbox sponsor on TMA, Jeff Lotman, online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's Jeff Lotman with Compass Realty, and he made the switch to Compass Realty because it's the #1 luxury real estate broker in St. Louis, and he is all about the luxury experience. Luxury is not about a price point. It's about an experience, about what he can provide, and he has been selling real estate in St. Louis and helping buyers in St. Louis for 22 years, $500 million worth of sales. So, you start to think about spring, you start to think about the time to put your house up for sale, or you're looking to buy a home, get the person who knows the market, Jeff Lotman, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's Jeff Lotman, online at jefflotman.com, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Jeff Lotman with Compass Realty.
That's Jeff Lotman. Email in, Design Air Heating and Cooling, email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Compete with Buck Swope, Shooter McGavin, and the JV golf coach each have a win apiece in the month of April. Now, here's a development, Iggy, that might capture your interest. It's got local ties. Doug, there was a basketball player who played for Missouri who's been in the news recently for some less than positive things.
Jonte Porter.
Jonte Porter,
Mm-hmm.
and the prop bet thing where he was twice the most profitable player on I think it was DraftKings Sports Report of prop bets, despite him being a two-way player making like $400,000. This story is about his brother, a Missouri Tiger, and his podcast, and his latest guest on his podcast, Iggy. Plaza, can we play the audio?
Henry Garza. Los Lonely Boys?
No, you'll see.
Lana Rhodes. People are going to be surprised that we're on a podcast together. I actually came across one of your podcasts that you used to do, and you were talking about just the dark sides of the adult film industry and the porn industry, which you used to be a part of. And it really I was really interested and honestly, inspired by your story. So let's start off just with your childhood.
So there's a lot of things that I've come to terms with recently that I didn't even realize were wrong in my childhood. And I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I had to go back and think, when was the first time that I had this feeling that no one loves me, and just overwhelming emotions to the point where it feels like you have to hurt yourself.
The average life expectancy of someone in the sex industry for a woman is about 37, and the average life expectancy outside of that industry is 78, I think. And I was just like, how is that possible? So obviously a lot of these girls feel like there's no way out. Yeah. How were you able to kind of get out and kind of just I guess find your identity outside of the industry?
I mean, I had to, or it probably would have led to that point. Imagine you just meet someone in the lobby and you're not attracted to them at all, and it's okay, now you have to f them and pretend that you like it.
No, that's definitely
it's
tough.
Awful. And then also that people are oh, you knew what you got into, and you get backlash for talking out about it. I think it's because men like consuming porn and they don't want to feel guilty for consuming it, and so they don't want to hear that I felt the way that I felt.
That is Lana Rhodes on Michael Porter Jr.'s podcast. I read from sportskita.com, Doug. Michael Porter Jr. has a podcast. Much like many past and present NBA players, this week he is set to release a new episode with a unique guest on the show. The Curious Mike podcast will feature content creator Lana Rhodes. Announcing the episode on Instagram on Wednesday, the post took many fans by surprise. You know the Instagram user Queen Sheba _13 said most unexpected collab ever, while J.Goal07 said bro is on a generational run. This is an article that references a bunch of Instagram comments. Jem Butawan saying, nah, MPJ, how'd you even set this up? Laughing emoji.
Just called her and said I'm a basketball player, and she said yes.
Yeah, I make $50 million a year. She's thinking, sure.
And they'll be dating next week.
But he was asking good questions.
Sounded like a pretty good interview.
Is it true that the 37 is the life expectancy of someone in the adult film industry?
I'd be surprised if that was actually the number. But
well, I'm sure there've been a lot of overdoses and
well, it's hard
suicides.
Because there's a lot of girls that just get out of the industry. Nobody even knows who they are. And
but I don't think people just assume they're dead then.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, I don't know how they can come up with that number.
I don't think that number is even
10
close to
girls
right,
that used to be in the industry. And
he must have researched it. I don't think he pulled that out of the thin blue.
Well, and I hope he wasn't insinuating that all these girls commit suicide.
I don't think that.
Because
that
I think the majority of them is probably drug related.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily the case. The two discussed a myriad of topics, as teased in the preview, trading stories about their careers and how they dealt with fame. This includes Rhodes' departure from her previous work. Porter was very curious about how she got out and the dark side of her former industry. Rhodes was also very open about her past childhood difficulties and mental health issues in the interview.
Yeah, well, she really didn't get out of it. She doesn't have sex anymore, but she just, all of her posts are her in a bikini showing her ass. So she's still using her sexuality to get followers.
Sounds like you're down on her now.
No, I'm just being honest. A lot of people think she got out of it because she's sick of the sex industry and she didn't like portraying herself like that. But she's still using her sexuality to sell things.
Well, she had that capability.
Well, she does. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But don't say, it was terrible and I got to get out of it and, people don't know me for having sex and using my body. Well, you're still using your body. Just not having sex.
But it's different. Having a picture taken of you is different than being forced to have sex with someone you're not attracted to.
Well, she wasn't forced to have sex with her.
I think I'm with Iggy on that part. I mean, she wasn't forced. But
told she had to if she was going to keep her job.
We don't know the behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what the industry is, Doug. Sex.
Yeah, but I think there's a far cry.
I want to be in this industry without having sex. We'll be a director, I guess.
But I don't imagine any of them get into it hoping they have sex with people that they're not attracted to. They probably think that's never going to happen.
Again,
she had a situation, and it does happen.
Again, she didn't have to do it. Somebody said, this is who you're working with today, so I don't want to work with him. And you go find somebody else to work with, or you find another company to work with. You don't have to say yes.
Or you probably risk being blackballed from the business. Or
Now, the personality
fired or
disorder
Not when you're as
makes...
popular as she was. She's not going to get blackballed.
We should call Lisa in. and
She
see
was
what
one of the most
says.
popular porn stars in the world at the time. She can pretty much call her own shots. She didn't have to work with people she didn't want to.
I don't know. You don't know.
Well, I
that
do
either.
know.
You do not know that.
I do know.
You don't know that.
Angela White is now probably one of those popular. She calls her own shots. Who she wants to work with. I want to do a scene with these two. They put it together.
Well,
I don't want to do this. You
I'd
don't
imagine
have to.
in the early days of their career, they don't get to call their shots.
Well, the early days of her career didn't last long because she became very popular very quick.
Well,
Probably right after she came on her show.
I mean, there's some big-time movie stars that get to call their shots now, but they didn't when they first broke into the business.
I think having that personality disorder makes a lot of sense for some porn stars that need validation, feel like they aren't ever truly loved. So that makes a lot of sense to why she resents it now because, looking back when you're 18 or 19 with, undiagnosed personality disorder, no one to really talk to about it.
I'd like to go back
You
and
kind of just get into it, I guess.
I'd like to go back and listen to our interview or listen to other interviews where she's done and what she said about. Because I think Tim probably would have asked, or Doug would have asked, what do your parents feel about you doing this? I'd like to see what her answer was.
Pale, serious text, borderline personality disorder is really difficult. Very sick folks, usually rooted in childhood trauma, but very difficult. That's from the recovering alcoholic
That's
from
what I'm
Belleville and
saying.
Webster
That's,
Groves.
that's no joke. I would suck.
The guy who reposts the same damn Speedo pic twice a month is down on the girl selling her body. Shut it, mulch pile! That's from Big Tuft.
I didn't say anything about me. I'm not trying to sell sex. If you get turned on by my Speedo, that's your problem, buddy.
Oh,
But I think that there's a far cry from doing stag and posting pictures in a bikini.
Well, sure it is. But you're talking about the industry, and I had to sell my body. Well, you're still kind of doing that. If you think it's all gross and you want to be known for you, well, take a picture of a dress. I'm doing a nice Michael Kors print outfit here. No, look at this bikini that I got. It's up my ass and showing her boobs, and you're still. And I have no problem with it. But don't act like it ruins your career when basically your career now is because of that. I mean, you're a good-looking girl. You could have been a model if you wanted to. You'd have probably got some print ads and things like that, but you chose this.
Right, but I think you can go into something with an open mind and kind of curious about what it's going to be and excitement, and then that said industry can really taint your feelings on your work, more so the longer you stay in it, something like that, where then you could have some negative feelings
Don't
about
act like it ruined my career when your career is basically from that, and that's why you still have millions of followers, not because you're Lana Rhoades' influencer. You're Lana Rhoades, the porn star. And like I told Brianna Coppage, I mean, this is with you forever now. I mean, that's what you did. And I don't think unless you move to another country or something and just start all over, I mean, people are going to know what you did, and it's always going to be there when you go for a job. The OnlyFans thing is going to be there. So you have to deal with it and embrace it and, make some money and have fun with it. And that's just the truth. So, you have all these followers and are making this money still because you're Lana Rhoades, the porn star, not because you're Lana Rhoades, the influencer.
There's a long list here of porn stars who have committed suicide.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them.
Silk, Smitha, August Ames, Kelly Van Dyke, Bradford Wagner, Saya Misaki, Layla Lopes, Tara Ray, Kent
keep
North,
naming them off, though. There's a
Eric
ton of
Rhodes, Miriam Rivera.
A lot of them
it does something to people.
A lot of them never heard of, and they probably
whether you've heard of them or not doesn't
and they probably
reduce the fact that it's a tragedy that they got involved in.
I didn't say it
and wound up
wasn't.
killing themselves.
I didn't say it wasn't. And they had problems going into it, too. It's not like you're, a normal person with no mental health issues or no tendencies, and you get into porn, whoop, that's it for me. No, they had problems going in.
It's probably true of a lot of sex workers, no matter what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you can handle it or you can't handle it, and it's going to do certain things to different people. And it's sad. I mean, August Ames wasn't because she was a sex worker. It's because she made a comment about she won't have sex with guys who do gay porn.
That sounds like a sex worker to me.
But then she was all called out for being homophobic, and people were trashing her, saying, kill yourself, you're awful, blah, blah, blah. That got to her. But I'm sure she had some mental health issues before that put her over the edge. I'm sure a lot of the girls got into this to make money, had mental health issues, and just realized this is just awful. And that pushed them over the edge. It's usually something that pushes you over the edge.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's always something that pushes you over the edge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be over the edge.
But there's something that was there before, and this is just the thing the last thing that puts you over the edge to make you do that. And it's sad. But there's a lot of porn stars that have died of overdoses, too, because they were into drugs when they got into it and got into drugs while they were doing porn, I guess to mask what they were doing, and they just got into drugs, and they died of overdoses.
I'm still shocked by
business.
the age because I'm looking it up, and it's definitely 37.
Yeah,
36.
everything I saw said that too.
It's hard to, I mean, you seem like experts, so it's hard to counter that.
Yeah, I think it's just because the ones that are dying early, you never heard of. You know, we can only go by the ones we know. I mean, you know, Seika, she's like almost 70. She's alive. Kate Parker was 75 when she died. The ones that I followed and I knew, a lot of the ones that are gone, you never heard of.
Well, I'm sure that there's a lot of people that do things when they're 19, 20, 21, the college years, when you're drunk and always up for a party. And sure, you want to shoot an adult movie? Yeah, sounds great. And then you get a few more years under your belt, and you go, "Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do to my life?"
Yeah, and
it never leaves them, always haunts them,
and you were
they can't take it.
You were very fragile going into it. You had problems at home. You know, I don't know many Harvard grads that had a mom as a doctor and a dad's a lawyer, and they get into porn. You know, there's always something there.
Well, there's not many people that get into it anyway. It's
but there's some people that
tiny percentage of people are so crazy enough to do it in the first place.
But people go in and some people embrace it. I mean, Lisa Ann embraced it. Christy Canyon still does it. She does a Sirius XM podcast or a radio show. She still does some. Nina Hartley embraces it. There's some people that embrace it and make a living out of it and enjoy it. There's other people that get into it that shouldn't get into it, and that's what happens.
Get involved in the conversation. Text on in.
Kind of
Jeff Flotman, text inbox 314-881-TMA5 or call in on the Collier and Thompson phone line 636-900-4-TMA like Mr. Licks did. You can also email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. You email in at the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, we probably won't get the Cardinal lineup here for another hour and a half, maybe in our Schaefer Door Company 9 o'clock hour.
All right.
We can do a little, you like a guessing game?
I do.
We can guess the lineup and see there. And then there's also some news in hockey last night. I don't know how much you were paying attention to the Rangers and Devils game last evening.
I should have, but I didn't.
There was some stuff going on to start that game. We'll talk about that. Coming up in our Schaefer Door Company 9 o'clock hour. It's going to close out our 8 o'clock hour. You are listening to The Morning After, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
In business since the 50s, Collier & Thompson are known for kitchen and bathroom remodels. But they do so much more. If it's an interior remodeling job, Collier & Thompson can probably help. Basements, wine rooms, man caves, bars, accent rooms, fireplace walls, office, you name it. No need to visit 5 to 10 showrooms when Collier & Thompson provides all your needs in their showroom on Manchester Road in Baldwin. Come home to quality with Collier & Thompson. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Temperatures are finally warming up here in St. Louis, and while that means more fun in the sun, it could also spell disaster for your lawn. Rain equals spring weeds, and now is the best time to get ahead of it. Green Envy has been here in St. Louis for more than a decade, servicing and treating lawns just like they would their very own. Crabgrass can lay dormant for years until the conditions are right, and the massive amounts of moisture we've had is sure to wake up even the oldest crabgrass seeds. Green Envy only uses products that have been formulated for Missouri soil, weather conditions, and turf types, not national generic products that are insufficient and ineffective. Let the experts at Green Envy help you choose the best treatment program for your lawn this season. Phone lines are open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and Saturday 9 to 1 to take your calls and answer questions. Call Green Envy today at 636-757-1600 or visit greenenvylawns.com and make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood.
Chow Chow on the Hill is your one-stop shop for all your pet supplies. As soon as you walk through their doors, you and your pet are considered family and treated with superior service and personalized attention. Jessica is the owner and is a certified pet nutritionist and is passionate about educating her clients on the product that will keep your pets happy and healthy. My favorite part about Chow Chow is its connection with All Paws Safe Haven, an organization that helps shelter animals find forever homes. To learn more about Chow Chow, visit CIAOCHOWSTL.com or stop by and tell them Plowsy sent you.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton, who also happens to be my insurance agent. And I am telling you firsthand that your staff is on top of it right away.
Is there a team in St. Louis that cares more about their clients? And I'll double down that there's not. What we do on a daily basis is coach and educate our customers on available discounts and the appropriate coverage to match their needs.
I can tell you firsthand the best, and I'm so happy I made the switch. And when you switch, they do all the paperwork for you. It's James Carlton, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPNT-FM HD2.
know what's going down when the Cardinals play at home. Say C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red, for the red, C for the red, C for the red, C for the red.
Here in the fan cave, ripping birds on the bat. Rest of the league, man, they can't handle that. I reckon Crew's gonna make the ball go splat. Your team, dude, is gonna need another pitcher
I forgot to send this to you. Some guy sent me a new Cardinal song.
Last year, put them on the shelf.
I should have sent it to you. I forgot.
Play tomorrow if they lose.
It's going to be hard to beat the lyrics. We cut our teeth on championship rings.
And they play for the fans, not the money.
Not the money. That's the thing. Right. That's the thing. It's
That's why we don't have any good free agents. I was wondering why.
Welcome back. The Morning After presented by Brown and Crouppen. We are in the Schaefer Door Company, a 9 o'clock hour. Cardinals home opener today, 3:10 first pitch, I want to say. I think I read that
Closer to
earlier.
3:30.
Yeah, usually it gets underway a little bit later. 3:15 first pitch. Lance Lynn on the mound for your St. Louis Cardinals. He went, 4 innings, no earned runs last time out. Let's see if he can go a little deeper into the game today against the winless Miami Marlins. Doug, you like a guessing game?
I do.
We probably won't get the lineup here for another hour and change, but I wouldn't mind seeing you guess the lineup for today's baseball game.
The Marlins have a lefty on the hill.
Is Ryan Weathers a lefty?
Yeah, he's a lefty. But I suppose he'll still lead off with Donovan because he's producing so well right now.
Okay.
Unless he's hurt from getting hit by a pitch last night at 96 or 7 miles an hour.
He caught one hot. Wilson Contreras keeps getting hit on the hands.
Oh, I know. God, can you imagine how much that would hurt?
So bad.
Get hurt right on the hand.
While you're
90.
gripping something like
Yeah.
that? Oh, my God, it would hurt so bad. Be so vulnerable.
Yeah.
All right, so you're
Victor
saying...
Scott got hit, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So you
he got
got
on
Donovan to lead off.
Donovan, Goldschmidt. If Contreras can play, I'll say they'll hit him 3 again.
Yeah, he'll probably catch and hit 3 since they had
Yeah.
Herrera in a catcher yesterday.
Well, yeah. Catching at 3, and then Arenado 4, and 5. I don't know. Probably they don't even have a right-handed DH. Maybe they'll let Herrera catch and DH Contreras with the hand hurt.
Possibly.
I'll say they'll do that.
Okay.
Contreras will DH and hit 3rd, and then Arenado 4, and then probably I'll say, I guess Gorman 5.
That's where they hit him yesterday.
Yeah, and Walker 6, and Herrera 7, and Scott 8, and Wynn 9.
Yeah.
Wynn's got a rest today.
I don't think he'll need
I'll say
back-to-back.
Carpenter DHs is in the lineup.
Lefty on lefty, I'd be surprised if they do that. But I don't know. I would be surprised. If it was a righty, I could totally see
Yeah,
them
you're
starting
probably right.
Carpenter. But with a lefty on the hill, I don't think that they would do that. They definitely are getting Contreras in there, whether he's catching or not.
Well, I would think he'd catch.
Yeah, Herrera caught yesterday, so but
Herrera's a pretty good player. I wouldn't hesitate putting him out there.
Yeah, he's been
Burleson will
effective.
probably be a DH.
I don't know. I think
They're
they want a right-handed
Another lefty.
DH.
They want a righty DH.
He's lefty too. I thought he switched hitter.
Over under on Matt Carpenter's standing ovation for his 7th inning pitch hit at bat.
Oh, yes.
It'll last 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Do you think the umpire will have to stand up and give him a minute?
Oh yeah, you dust off the plate, do a quick circle.
Catcher will go out and talk to the pitcher a little bit.
Yeah.
What class? What
Yeah.
class?
Skip Schumacher as a manager,
He just may do it.
Yeah, he might actually
There
do
could be
that.
an ovation for Skip.
Yeah, when he
100% there will be.
goes and takes a pitcher out because he won't be announced. As soon as he takes a pitcher out, he'll be standing ovation.
They'll announce him. They do they have the guys run out there. They'll announce.
Oh, that's right. The opening day, they'll have the manager go out there.
Yeah,
Will Carpenter will get a standing ovation when he's announced. Won't have to wait till the 7th inning.
Yeah.
They'll give him a personalized one and as a bat.
Of course, you can't tell. They give a standing ovation to everybody on opening day. So, you know.
You better believe Carp is going to be in the lineup today. It's from Uncle Moose Knuckle.
You know he is.
I'd just be surprised.
I don't think so. The lefty.
Lefty. That would be.
Yeah, if it was a right-handed pitcher, he would definitely be in the opening day lineup.
Again, if there was the injury situation when you have Nootbaar, Edman, and Carlson all hurt, all can bat from the left side of the plate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of be difficult.
They're a little left-handed heavy.
When all healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you can kind of go right, left, pretty much down the order. To an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, you go Donovan, Goldie, Gorman, Arenado. You can go lefty-righty for a while.
And you don't really need many pinch hitters anymore. Used to be you wanted at least one or two guys off the bench to hit for the pitchers and then the relief pitcher.
Yeah, with no pitcher anymore.
That's done.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's all
I
matchup.
kind of like it, though.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody really complaining that the pitchers aren't hitting. I don't like it.
I was always all for the DH and interleague play, but I grew up with interleague play being a very big thing, and I also grew up with the American League having a DH and always wondering, why do these pitchers have to hit? Like, it's, I get it, it's history, but it just doesn't make much sense.
No.
So I'm glad that it is the way it is now.
Yeah, me too. I'd much rather see Mason Wynn or Victor Scott hit at the end of the lineup than a pitcher.
Skip Schumacher may end up being the Cardinals bench coach after this series, the way Florida is performing. That's from Neil Allen Craig Paquette.
Daniel Descalso is the bench coach.
That's right.
It's another
Double D.
standing O.
Ollie's not listening to anything he says. That challenge yesterday.
He was safe as hell. Was he not
The
safe?
first guy I thought was safe, and from what I saw, Descalso was on the phone, gave Ollie a thumbs up. They did not challenge. Next ball hit down the line, run would have scored.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Arenado steal. I know we're getting kind of in the weeds. On
Yeah,
nothing baseball.
there was two in that inning. I forget who the first one was, but then Arenado, that was close too.
It looked to me he was absolutely safe, but he was. Everyone seems really surprised when they're like, the call stands. I was like, well, what are we looking at? Am I looking at the same thing? But maybe I'm off.
It did look very safe to me.
The new MLB rules for the pitch clock require the Cardinals to request time for a standing ovation with stoppage. He may get one, but not the umpire stepping back. That's from Doug's cat, Dusty, overhead.
All right.
I don't know what that text name means.
Okay.
Doug, was it Todd Worrell back in the day who would pitch to a batter, and then Whitey would put him in right field?
Yeah.
And then they'd bring him back to the mound?
Uh-huh. It happened a few times.
You can do that?
Sure. You can change positions.
Defensive, I guess you can switch, and that wouldn't...
Made sense. Then you didn't lose one of your best relievers on just one hitter. It made perfect sense.
I get you need a guy who can play. Yeah, a guy who can play.
I miss having a good manager.
I do too. At least a creative one.
What do you not find creative about giving Mason Wynn 2 days off in a week?
It just drives me nuts. Drives me crazy.
Ollie probably will go down as one of the worst Cardinal managers. Just in terms of...
Vern Rapp wasn't very good.
I mean, you're going to have to go back there. I mean, I'm a TLR guy and Matheny and then,
You're
so
a
on and
Matheny
so
guy?
forth. So, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know all the managers from the 40s and 50s, but I assume if this is an 80, 78 win team and he gets another year like this, he'll go down.
Joe Torre wasn't a good manager here, and he's a Hall of Fame manager in New York.
Yeah. There's a lot of players that do that, too. It's almost like we're cursed now. That 2011 World Series, we sold our souls for it.
I still think it was a miss. I still wanted Frank Kona when they...
Yeah.
Terry?
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals may have wanted him, too.
No.
But how can you not get
Mike
Matheny?
Matheny. Plucked him right off those airwaves.
Well, Matheny took him to a World Series.
Yeah, he wasn't terrible. I mean, the Waka thing kind of killed him, but...
He was cute.
Yeah.
Doug, my father's agreement with you. He said Wilson will DH. Ivan catching because Wilson kind of has a hand injury.
Probably.
Because he keeps getting hit on the hands.
Herrera had 2 hits yesterday.
Yeah, I to get him in the lineup, especially if it's a righty on lefty.
They have high hopes that he's the big-time catcher of the future.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and you need a right-handed DH. I don't think you want to DH a lefty against a left-handed pitcher.
Because even when guys come back healthy, you're still low on right-handed DHs.
Yeah.
I guess if Gorman, you're probably going to be putting Edman in somewhere. I don't know.
I think Contreras is a right-handed DH.
Yeah. Plowsy, you crapped on TRL and Matheny as well. What is it, guy? That's from Mr. 630.
Well, I was like 8 years old with Tony La Russa. Did I call into the show during that time?
Probably did.
I don't remember one single time where I've dragged TLR. Matheny had some bad decision-making, but it's always hindsight. You think you can get a better manager, and then you get Ollie, and then you go, oh, man, I miss Mike Matheny.
Were you one of those kids that was on the walkie-talkie that would always pipe into our show?
No, that was on Frank's show. God, that was so good. I don't know how they did it.
Was that the little cuck booth that they had there?
No,
nothing was ever plugged in?
Randomly, the kids would be able to patch in, and they would have walkie-talkies.
Like onto the frequency?
Right in the middle of lap 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're tech geniuses at this point. This is about 10 years ago.
What the hell's going on here?
But yeah, it was about once every other month. The kids would just... Bobby, you there?
John Jay is the first base coach for the Miami Marlins.
Oh,
Another standing ovation.
yes,
That's from
indeed.
DJ Jazzy Jeff Albert Pujols.
We may be looking at a 5-hour game time today.
And you're looking at potentially a lot of hand injuries, not just Contreras, but all the clapping.
Oh, yeah, fans will go down. They should wear mittens.
Knowing our fans, they've been working on it all off season. They'll be ready to go.
Yeah, well, they love the fans, not money. Speaking of hurting your hands, Doug, the New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils engaged in a full 5-on-5 brawl 2 seconds into their game Wednesday night, kicking off a wild scene in which 8 players, 4 from each team, were ejected before most of the fans were settled into their seats. Rangers overnight sensation Matt Rempe was likely going to fight that night. He had delivered an elbow to Devils defenseman. I'm going to just brutally butcher this
Give
name.
it a shot.
Jonas Siegenthalers.
Okay.
Siegenthalers.
That's fine. Sounds fine.
Jaw, the last 2 times the teams met on March 11th, drawing an ejection and a 4-game suspension. That was on top of a borderline hit through on Nathan Bastian on February 22nd in Newark that the Devils, particularly forward Curtis McDermott, felt Rempe should answer for. Why do hockey players have hard names? Where's
they come
Jones?
from-
Jones, Smith.
No, not a lot of them.
Talk about holding a grudge.
Yeah, I saw the video of that last night. Literally, puck drops, everyone drops their gloves and just starts
That's old school there,
starts
yeah.
scrapping. And in Madison Square Garden, just scrapping right at the beginning of the game. You know what? I'll talk a lot of crap on hockey. That's really cool. I think that's just super cool.
You ever seen the movie Goon?
Yes, I have.
Good or bad?
Oh, good. Yeah, I like that. I like hockey culture and hockey movies and stuff. Slapshot. I love Slapshot. I like watching Shoresy, the Letterkenny spinoff. I have love for hockey in my heart.
I think nowadays anybody sits behind the net and tells a goaltender your wife's a lesbian.
Is that Slapshot?
That was in Slapshot.
Yeah, right.
Great movie.
Paul Newman.
These guys are a disgrace.
The goalie wouldn't hear you through the glass and the roar of the crowd.
Yeah, you could probably hear it.
And that little minor league team in
That was
Slapshot.
that's my funniest scene in Slapshot, where they put the Hanson boys out there and they're out there just slashing people in the face, tripping them, elbowing, and the one guy with the beard sitting on the bench goes, "These guys are a disgrace," and he's on his own team.
So 8 players were ejected. NHL Rule 46.7 states a game misconduct penalty shall be imposed on any player who is assessed a major penalty for fighting after the original altercation has started. So
okay, to keep it from spreading.
Yeah. So they got tossed, including Rempe. So
do they have enough players even to get through a game?
Yeah, a lot of tired guys, double shifting.
You lose 5 guys a couple seconds into the game, you're down to 15.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to, but you'd have to, it's not like this was like, do you think the coaches are in the know? As a hockey guy, he doesn't know much.
Probably so.
Do you think the coaches know that?
Probably so.
We're going to be playing
Yeah.
without most of the guys tonight.
He better know.
And I guess when you see the lineup, you're like, boy, there's a lot of big guys who don't usually start tonight.
We called up a bunch of guys from the minors just to start this game.
Just to absolutely
and
pound
they're all
each other.
huge.
That's a wild scene. That was wild last night in Madison Square Garden.
You see, the Kings won their game, so the Blues are now 5 points back.
Kings won last night against the Kraken, Doug. The final score of that game, of course, being
5-3.
5-3. Thank you, KG. Yeah, 5-2 actually. The final against Kings and Kraken. So the Blues are 5 back. They take on the Predators tonight. Doug, if they lose this game, are you dropping your hope percentage?
Yeah, that'd be about it. It's about over now anyway. 5 down with...
Yeah, it feels like you pretty much got to get all of them at this point.
Yeah, I think you'd have to.
Real war of attrition. The Blues' chances of making the playoffs, according to Money Puck, are 2.4% for reference. After they defeated the Oilers, it was 2.2%. So moving upward. But yeah, 2.4% to make the playoffs for the Blue Note. Meanwhile, Nashville is at 98.4% and 2.3% to win the Cup. Well, the Blues have a 0% chance of winning the Cup, according to Money Puck.
Well, just to catch the Kings, if the Blues did win all their remaining games, the Kings would only have to win, half of theirs?
Right. So
that thing makes no sense. It can be 2.4 after you, or 2.2 after you win, and then the Kings win last night. Oh, they're 5 back now? I think they got a better shot. We'll go to 2-4. Makes no sense.
I think it was 2.2. Maybe I'm off, but I thought that was the case. Oh, boy. I don't know if this is fake or not, but Mr. Big Cream just sent in a text. Plowhawk, you might want to head to the Jeff Lotman text inbox.
Oh, my
that's
God.
gotta be
Celebrate our president of baseball operations with his from ensemble. Maybe this is fake just based on
This
the.
is definitely fake.
With the purchase of a special theme ticket, 2 soft drinks, and a hot dog, fans will receive a John Mozeliak themed bow tie. Get your tickets and cheer on Mo and the Cards. That's Tuesday, June 25th against the Atlanta Braves.
It could be real.
I mean, it looks like a. John Mozeliak bow tie night.
Be kind of funny to see.
I guarantee that's
40,000
real.
fans wearing bow ties at a
I
game.
guarantee that's real.
What's the date on that? June?
June 25th. We might have to have a.
I'm looking.
TMA, Day at the Ballpark.
That might have to be.
Just go to Cardinals giveaways. It'll be up.
I'm looking it
I'm
up.
looking. I don't. I'm in
It's just
June.
Oh,
No.
favorite. It says favorite. Okay, so the original text cut it off. So that's why I was celebrate our president of baseball operations with his favorite ensemble with the purchase of a special theme ticket. Boy, there's a lot of barriers to entry on this.
Yeah.
Special
I'm looking
theme
at the
ticket, 2 soft
giveaway.
drinks, and a hot dog. Fans will receive a John Mozeliak themed bow tie. Plowsy is looking it up as we speak.
Well, I looked at the giveaways, and I think the theme tickets are different than the giveaways. So June.
Yeah, 100%. You have to buy a special
June,
ticket.
what was it again?
25th against the Atlanta Braves.
It's
Plowhawk.
Teachers' Night.
Okay.
Clicking on it.
Be a good night for bow ties.
I don't see the bow tie.
No, theme nights I don't think are listed on giveaway nights. They're totally different.
No, I'm on the theme now. I switched the theme, and it doesn't. I don't
Apologies.
see the bow tie.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either on this. April or
Be
June
great.
25th.
Yeah, I don't see it.
There's emo night.
Yeah, I get teacher's night as that night, so I don't know if that is.
Ooh, a 3/4 zip.
Oh, they got a quarter zip night?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, this is actually a cool bobblehead.
Yeah, I'm
Morton
not
and
seeing.
Rooney. That's kind of a good one. Wow.
Yeah, I do
Camo.
not see a bow. So maybe we've been duped, Doug.
Ugh.
Wow, they got a Metro
the first
Boomin'
time.
night. They got a Metro Boomin' night.
They do have the Metro Boomin night, yeah. Real beef between.
I think there's a
Drake.
potential if you put 40,000 bow ties on people and they come up with a bad performance, that those bow ties might wind up on the field.
Would that be
can't.
that Plowsy might explode?
Well, they do that.
Oh,
Then
I
they
got
just
it
have
right
another
here.
giveaway. They pick them all up and have another giveaway later in the year.
It's a joke, you idiots! My God, it's from Brian Henson. Well, it looked real, Brian.
It's called fact-checking, Hinch.
Yeah, man. Like it looks like a real release from the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Man, they really half-assed the Harry Potter night, though. I did not like that jersey.
Title of the segment.
Yeah, half-assed Harry Potter. What do you mean?
They have a jersey. It's a jersey, and it has the 4 houses emblem. But I think you could do a lot more with a Harry Potter night than that.
Yeah. Probably pay out the ass for the licensing on that.
Oh my
to
God, I can
imagine.
imagine. Friends night too.
Yeah, they did that.
Couple
They've done
nights
that.
later.
They've done that in Grateful Dead night plenty. The Grateful Dead giveaway or the theme ticket jerseys are pretty cool. My buddy has one. I really like it.
There is
Pretty
a couple
psychedelic.
that I like. Man, the DC supervillain night. I like that.
Well, it'll be fun, Doug.
Okay.
What also is fun is Mark Hanna, and I work with him personally. I work with Mark Hanna. He is a wonderful financial advisor, Doug. I know you have worked with him. Iggy has gotten some great advice from him in the past.
He's
Prod
going to
Joe.
talk to him right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good idea. It's always a good idea to talk to Mark Hanna, Prod Joe, with so many of our listeners, and they all say the same thing. You tell the difference from the get-go. We saw him yesterday in the studio with his lovely head of hair and kind of just a nice, subtle beard. And so he's obviously a handsome gentleman, but he also has a ton of financial wisdom and can help you out with your financial future. It's super important to have somebody, no matter what point of your life you're in. Maybe you're like me, just starting to work a little bit, and you want to start the habit of saving money, or you're someone who's about to have their first child. Maybe they just got married and you want to have a more stable financial future and a plan put in place. It's a great idea. An even better idea than that is getting in touch with Mark Hanna, because he's the guy you can trust. He'll learn about you, the individual, to help build out a custom plan for you. And then if you have to change things when life throws a curveball at you, you can get on the phone with him. His phone number, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. He will tell the difference from the get-go when it comes to Mark Hanna, because he can really convey his message to his clients. That's why I love working with Mark Hanna. That's why you'll love working with him as well. 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. And Doug, those hot take mittens that you wear,
Oh, I better put them on.
when it
Something
gets
coming
real
up?
hot, that's presented to you by the EDF Group. Mr. Plowsy, can I hear a little bit about the Engineer Design Facilities Group, the EDF Group?
EDF, the sponsor of Doug's Hot Take Gloves. Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. It's EDF, the EDF Group, sponsor of Doug's Hot Take Gloves on TMA.
Look at that. Look at the gloves. Look at them. They do. They keep you
how
safe.
You turn them and twist them and
keep you safe.
Firemen could walk into burning buildings with these gloves and not get scorched. Next winter, when it gets really cold, I'm wearing these gloves.
Yeah,
I wear them for 5 minutes here, and my hands are sweating by the time I take them off. That's how good they are.
That's just good lubricant. All right. Plenty of fun with audio today that KG and O10 was kind enough to cut. And I want to get to some of it, including Charles Barkley not being happy with his former agent. I don't know. I haven't heard this clip, so I'm curious.
Yeah, he never gets any work. You can see where he'd be unhappy.
It's been a long. Well, in fairness, I was broke after 4 years in the NBA because my first agent stole all my money. I don't want to mention his name. His name was Lance Lesnick. He stole all my damn money. And let me tell you something, Dan. If I ever see him again, I'm going to beat him to a pulp. If I ever see that dude again, I'm going to beat him to a pulp. Because he's never apologized. Now, if he had apologized, it's probably 40 years ago. If he had about 38, 39, he never apologized for stealing all my money. And if I saw him today, I'd beat the hell out of him.
He got fined $5,000 for stealing your money.
You know, the only good thing about it, Dan, I wasn't making any money.
Charles Barkley, so that was on the Dan Patrick Show.
Isn't it kind of amazing how mean and evil people can be?
Right.
I mean, wouldn't you think if you had a guy who was a star in college and a potential long-time star in the NBA, you would want to take care of him?
Right.
Thinking you'd have a long-term relationship instead of just screwing him every which way you can think of while he's a young kid?
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. Yeah.
How can you steal somebody's money and only get fined without going to jail? You're fined $5,000. How much money did you steal?
I have no idea. That's, well, I guess whatever Barkley was making, he was, skimming off the top?
If he stole $100, he deserves more than a $5,000 fine.
100%.
Yeah, but if he stole all my money, he said he stole all my money. So unless he was embellishing it, I mean, let's just say he was making, back then, $400,000 a year. So he stole $1.6 million of your money, got fined $5,000. I mean, you said he stole all of your money, so.
He probably exaggerated a little.
Yeah.
But he probably, Barkley's checks probably went through the agent, and the agent probably kept most of it.
Doing some skimming. That's no good. One of my favorite Barkley things ever, he was talking about Zion Williamson, his weight issues, and he said he needs to get on his Philadelphia 76ers diet when he had to lose weight. If it tastes good, spit it out.
Yeah, pretty good rule of thumb.
Love that from Barkley. We also have a clip of Mike Francesa on the Jets and drafting someone named Joe Alt. You ever heard of a player named Joe Alt?
The center
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? Okay, well, let's take a listen.
He's probably going to be there for the Jets. If the Jets get the good fortune of Alt being there at 10, if they don't take him, they should be shot.
Oh, gosh.
And if Alt's there, pop the champagne.
Let's go the other way now.
Because that will be a home run. That will be a guy who will be a 10-year starter, maybe a 14-year starter, a multiple-time All-Pro. He is a can't-miss player on the offensive line. Can't miss.
Mm-hmm. That's what they all say.
Right pedigree, right everything.
Mm-hmm.
A 6'7" tackle. Like I said, it's 50-50 he's there.
They should be shot.
Okay. Can you imagine?
I thought there was going to be something other like 3 years later. You spent a first-round pick on this
That will be
idiot.
Yeah, we gotta bookmark that audio.
100%. Funhouse already has a bookmark for us.
Everybody talks with such confidence before the draft. And then 2 or 3 years later, you can't find them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I said that about this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns out the guy you picked in the 6th round is a better player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never. It's such a especially with the NFL. I feel like maybe more. Baseball is kind of a crapshoot because you have no idea when they're actually going to come up. But the NFL.
Speaking of young baseball players, did you see that the Orioles AAA team scored 26 runs last night? They've got so many prospects, they don't know where to put them.
Jackson Holiday being one of them.
Jackson Holiday had 4 hits. Keston Jerkstad went 5 for 7 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs.
Yeah, he's a big prospect.
10 RBI. He had 10 RBIs.
Kyle Stowers had 3 home runs, 4 hits. These guys, according to the article, they would be starting on most major league teams. The Orioles have no place to put them.
Wow.
I can think of one.
Yeah, probably all 3 of those guys would start for the Cardinals. I'm sure they would.
There's guys on the Cardinals who won't have 10 RBIs this year.
Yeah.
It's damning.
What do you? Is there anybody the Cardinals could trade to get one of those outfielders from the Orioles?
Tommy Edman.
Well, he's not going to get you one of the top
There's
prospect
no value
outfielders.
without trading one of our young guy for their young guys.
Paul Goldschmidt.
No way. No way. They don't need him.
All right, so then it seems like we're SOL.
I think that we probably are, yeah.
The Athletic has ranked, Doug, this morning, the top, ranking all 30 Major League Baseball starting rotations as the 2024 season begins. I know you like a guessing game. Number 1 on the best starting rotations in Major League Baseball a week into the season.
Best starting rotations? Phillies?
No, sir.
Dodgers?
No, sir.
Rangers?
No, sir.
Tampa?
No.
Can I have initials, please?
A.
Atlanta.
A.
Atlanta. Ozzie nails it with Spencer Strider, Max Fried, Charlie Morton, Chris Sale, and Ronaldo Lopez. Number 2, Doug, this team plays on the West Coast.
Dodgers.
No, sir.
Oh, can I have initials?
You know who it is.
S.
S. Seattle?
Seattle is number 2.
Okay.
3, the Phillies. 4, the Diamondbacks, and then 5, the Dodgers, as we saw what the Dodgers can do. And the Dodgers IL features just some everyday guys like Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and Tony Gonsolin on the IL. So
That's
more to
all.
come. More to come with the Dodgers as the season goes on. Not to mention Bobby Miller, who, if anyone's interested, I heard this on 101 ESPN. BK and Ferrari were talking about it when it was theorized, or there was an LA Times article about Nolan Arenado possibly going to the Dodgers. That St. Louis fans immediately discredited the author, despite having no reason to. The pitcher they would have got essentially for Arenado was Bobby Miller, the guy who absolutely carved up the Cardinals in Game 2.
You put Gorman at 3rd and Donovan at 2nd, and now you've got an ace
Or
pitcher.
Walker at 3rd. Yeah. So that's tough, but also you can play this game 100 times with who would have been. Actually, it was Matt Rocchio who said that yesterday. I'm sorry, I don't know why. It was Matt Rocchio on Balloon Party.
The tubist.
Oh, I've looked at 5 different mock drafts.
What
And
sport?
Football. Everybody has the Jets taking Fashanu from Penn State.
What position does he play?
Tackle.
How about Joe Alt?
Guns ready.
Nowhere to be found.
So they're going to be shot.
Well, they need a tackle.
Who in specific?
They don't.
The GM?
These guys are going to be put in handcuffs,
Yeah, get them all.
tied together, and dragged out back of the facility and shot one by one.
Firing squad.
Well, they don't have a tackle, and you better find somebody to protect Rodgers. But nobody's got him taking Alder. He's getting Fashanu from Penn State and Fawuga from Oregon State, I believe.
This Cowtown gets a premium event like the UFC to come to town, and the show of record has no mention of it. Shaking my head. That's from the Crystal
The UFC
City
is coming here?
Clamhammer. I thought it was in May. Saturday, May. UFC St. Louis. I thought it was in like May 11th is when they're getting. Yeah, May 11th, 2024. St. Louis gets a UFC fight.
What's the main event there? Anybody we've heard of?
I haven't heard of them. Probably some fight fans out there who have.
There's 2 heavyweights that I saw.
Derek Lewis. I've heard of Derek Lewis. And Rodrigo Nascimento from Brazil. So, yeah, 2 heavyweights. And heavyweights in UFC, Doug, is just an absolute slugfest. They don't do much wrestling.
Yeah.
They don't do much kicking. They just beat the crap. They kick, but they beat the crap out of each other.
When is Conor McDavid?
Conor
Not
McDavid, number 97 for the Edmonton
Conor
Oilers, was
McDavid.
here on Monday.
Conor McGregor. He's fighting again, and they've scheduled his match. I don't remember when it is, though.
I don't think that they had one scheduled for last year, but it never
No,
came
it's this
through.
year sometime.
I know, but they had one scheduled for last fall, and it never happened. He says he's ready to fight, but I do not believe they have a date set for his return.
I thought they set a date, and he said he's fighting.
Was he going to fight the St. Louis guy, Chandler?
Yes. Yes, because they did the UFC show, and at the end of the UFC Road to Glory show, the two coaches always fight, and it was Chandler and McGregor. But I don't know if they have a fight for him on the schedule. He's too busy being in Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, that's right. I'd rather watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That fight.
And you get to watch it. It's on Netflix. I don't think you got to pay extra for it. If you got Netflix,
you don't have to pay an extra fee from Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Netflix isn't going to... You got to put it on Netflix and then charge you a fee to watch it if you want it.
But that's how ESPN does it. If you have ESPN Plus, you still have to pay for the pay-per-view for UFC.
I don't know. I would think since it's a streaming service, you already have Netflix. You get it. If not, you better buy Netflix.
I see there's a program started in the city of St. Louis where they're going to try to get kids off the streets by getting them into boxing, which seems like the worst idea in the world to me. Boxing is the worst sport out there. The whole purpose is to inflict brain damage on the opponent. You don't think any of that might spill out into the streets later to settle a score that way? You're going to have people beating on each other to try to create more peace in the city? Come on.
I could see the productive side of just being inside training on something that is a legitimate sport.
Find another sport.
You can, I mean, I can see where you're coming from with boxing maybe not being that outlet.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I could see both sides of the argument.
I can't see the side where we need to teach young people to inflict brain damage on the other one. There's no good comes from that.
Right. I guess fighting in the streets is better, or fighting in a ring with coaches and people around is better than fighting in the streets.
How about we teach don't fight?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Play more basketball if you want to.
Damn right,
play
baby.
Volleyball.
People are hooping
Play
left and right.
football. Play baseball. But don't teach them how to knock somebody out.
I played about 2 hours of pickup yesterday, Doug. It's a euphoric feeling afterwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Best exercise. You do 2 hours of cardio, you don't even think of it because you're having fun playing.
Yeah.
That's the key to cardio, man, is finding something that you enjoy doing.
If boxing, in my opinion, is the worst sport in the world, I think basketball is the perfect sport.
Yeah.
Because you can play by yourself, you can play with 10 others, you can shoot around and practice and work on your own game. There's not a lot of injuries.
All you need is
it's
shoes
fun.
and a ball.
There's plenty of action.
Shoes
Girls
and a
can
ball.
play.
Yeah.
There's a place for the small person.
Right. I love the culture in hockey. It's awesome, and there's no doubt about it. Hockey players, if you've talked to them, are wonderful people, and many athletes are. Problem with hockey is to get a kid into hockey, you have to, get them in super early, because you got to have skate fundamentals down real early. And it's expensive.
Oh, it takes a lot of money to play hockey.
Buying new pads every year. Teams are expensive. Ice time's hard to come by.
Yeah.
Whereas basketball, pair of shoes and
You
a ball.
can play anywhere.
You're ready to rock and roll.
If we weren't playing Indian ball, or we weren't playing street hockey, I would go in the backyard. My dad put a hoop in our backyard. We didn't have any concrete. It was in the grass.
Oh, you had grass? We didn't have grass.
They put it way in the
We
back.
had molten rocks and lava.
Put it
You
way in the
tried
back of the
dribbling on
yard.
that.
And I would play almost every day, and I would play games where I was the Hawks. And I would actually kind of do play-by-play to myself. There's the pass. Zelmo Beatty at the top of the key. Yes! And I would play games against myself.
I did the exact same thing. Yeah, announcing.
I did that when I played the tennis ball against the steps, too. I would hit it. There's Ozzy, long one over his head. He's going to go back. And it would, hit 2 steps and go over my head. I'd have to catch it for a home run.
On a home run by the Wizard?
Yeah, over my head was a home run. Yeah, I played a lot with myself as a youngster.
Oh, gosh.
And you still do today. Cardinals opening up.
Is that a bit or a sketch?
It's a little bit of both. What we do have is the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up in just a matter of moments. But before we do that, Doug's suspension log, which might get some work here in this email today segment, is brought to you by the Illinois Recovery Center. Mr. Plowsy, if I could hear a little bit about the Illinois Recovery Center.
Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, the team believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery. Whether you're taking the first step or continuing your path, the IRC's dedicated team is here to support you. Discover the path to lasting recovery and renewal at Illinois Recovery Center, where compassionate support meets personalized care for your unique journey. The IRC builds unwavering determination to thrive beyond the shadows of the past. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
That's the IRC, Illinois Recovery Center. And I also want to talk about a little bit about wagering with the Circa Sports app, because, Doug, the Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. I talked about the Cardinal game earlier today. I'm in the Circa Sports app as we speak, which is now available in Illinois. So if you live here in St. Louis, make the short drive across the river. If you already live in Illinois, sign up. Final Four, Doug, on Saturday evening. Alabama takes on UConn. UConn is an 11.5-point favorite in that game, in the Final Four game, double-digit favorite. But they've, I think, 10 or 11 straight double-digit wins for UConn in the tournament. So it's hard to not set that line.
But nobody gave him any respect.
No, their plane was late. I don't
them
know if you
against
saw
the
that.
world.
Their plane was delayed, and they didn't get into Arizona, I think, till like super late or early this morning.
Oh, bless her heart.
So Dan Hurley's going to have some new motivation for that game. So if you like UConn to smoke the Crimson Tide and Nate Oates, 11.5 is the number. 160.5 is the total. And then NC State taking on Purdue. Purdue is a 9-point favorite in that game. If you think NC State can pull off the upset and win, they're plus 355 in the money line. And the bet I kind of like, because I think they're going to keep it close in that first half, NC State plus 5 in the first half. You get that minus 105 over at Circa. I kind of like that play. I'll probably be firing it before Saturday with the Circa Sports app, which is now available in Illinois. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234. How old were you when you played step ball as Ozzie Smith? Because you were probably 46 in '82 when Ozzie got here. It's from Chuck Talent.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't Ozzie Smith. I just
would have been Dal Maxville back then.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably using Ken Boyer and Kurt Flood and those guys. I just mentioned Ozzie, but yeah, it was probably the '64 team, '66 team, '67 team.
Doug, who was that guy for you that you would emulate when you were playing baseball?
I wanted to be Ken Boyer. I wore number 14 as long as I could get it.
That was your guy?
I was out in the backyard yesterday pretending to be Brandon Crawford.
What were you doing?
Jogging slowly?
Yeah, just looking at Mason Wynn in the dugout, telling him I got his job.
It's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense sometimes. It's nice to have a backup there, but you need to play the young stud that you think is going to be a star. He needs to be out there.
Yeah, once a
darn
week.
near every game.
Once a week break is okay by me, but twice a week. I guess with the home, I don't know.
Yeah, you were talking about throwing balls in the stands and getting a fan for life. That's the reason Ken Boyer is my favorite player, because he was the first person ever signed an autograph for me.
Oh, he was also the best player on the team there for a while. That's what got me.
Well, I didn't really pay attention to that as a kid. No, he signed a Cardinal popcorn box for me.
Yeah.
On the little side panel, it used to say autographs.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to sign.
Well, they don't give, back to the days off thing, they don't give Arenado many days off. They don't give Goldschmidt many days off.
Yeah, I think
they're 15 years older than
Mason
Wynn.
I think the difference there is Mason Wynn has never played this many games in the season. 162 games is...
So what?
He
hasn't played that many games because he's that young.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he can't.
Oh, I have no doubts that he can, and he will. I think that Mason Wynn is the shortstop of the future. Listen, like I said, I'm not like super in agreement. I understand the move, but I don't think I agree with it.
And this is not basketball or hockey or football where you're giving maximum effort on every play. Most of the game is spent standing around doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you bat 4 times, you might run full speed a couple times.
Right.
Another 4 or 5 times during the field, you're running full speed over 3 hours, and you're 21 years old, and you can't do that every night?
Well, they definitely weren't going to sit him today with being at the home opener.
I hope
no
not.
doubt about that. They weren't going to sit him today. So I feel like yesterday they were like, all right, this might be a decent time to, rattle the bat on Brandon Crawford in case you need him. You want to keep the guys fresh.
Can you imagine not playing meaningful baseball for 6 months and 5 games into the season you need 2 breaks, or 7 games into the season? Like, you can justify it all you want. We're saving them for later in the season, but that
would drive me crazy if I was him.
If I was him, I'd be
nuts.
pissed as hell, dude.
Yeah.
It's like he's not even in his prime yet. He's 22.
Yeah. No, listen. I think all your guys' your complaints are warranted. And again, they Mason Wynn gets that ball up the middle, and they turn 2, and the game is completely different because the Cardinals only lost by 1 run. When it comes to, but these are the games, Doug, in September you're going to be happy about that.
I guess when you lose them now, it's good because it helps you, and so it helps the character in September.
Oh, man, it's going to be a cold one out there. So if you're heading out to the home opener, stay warm out there and bring home a winner, eh? I want to see the Cardinals. I want to see them fly. I want to see them soar.
Yeah, I don't want to have a horrible year and
bring a wrap.
Give up on the season.
It really stinks when, like last year in July, when you just know the Cardinals don't have it. It takes some takes some of the joy out of life.
It does.
We're a sports town.
You want to look forward to every game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have something to watch on TV every night, assuming you can get it.
Right. All right, it is 9:50 in St. Louis. It is time in our Schaefer Door Company 9 o'clock hour for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Can anyone beat the Blueberry Pop Pop record? And we just have found out just yesterday and revealed on the show today, KG in O-Town has been Blueberry Pop this whole time. He's pulling the wool over our eyes, Doug.
Yeah.
This guy's emailing in from inside the building. What's going on?
We're so very easily hoodwinked. We really are.
I refuse to email in until Tim comes back. That's from the Long Hanging Fruit.
Okay, Long Hanging Fruit. Isn't it low hanging fruit?
The email says long.
Long hanging fruit. Okay. Long hanging fruit.
Well, you don't need to remember it because it's not going to get a vote.
You haven't heard the rest of the emails?
Not his. He's got another one?
No. I finished it. His brine, I mean. Sorry, I'm getting emotional over here.
Don't.
Salty, like taffy, and robust, like a good red blend. You can really taste the combination of Helmet Nacho Warm Sour Cream and 4 Diet Cokes blended to absolute perfection. I hope I can taste it again soon. His brine, I mean. That's from Danny Tanner.
That's it. That's the end of it.
That's the end of the email.
Okay. Danny Tanner.
Ahoy! Good golly, Miss Molly. Franken beans and ham and cheese. Dem takes were hot. Piping hot. Takes so sweet, I think they're giving me diabetes, Wilford Brimley style. Toasted me brain as they pulsated through me ear holes. This ma'am, I mean. Speaking of that, any of you dainty femboys know where a grizzled buck such as myself might be able to procure a new or gently used, reasonably priced butt plug? Silicone? Metal? Glass? No matter. Hell, I wouldn't even mind if I had to clean off some of the leftover poop shoot remnants as long as the price was right, because you know homeboy ain't finna pay retail.
He's not.
Big! Eek! How do you do? Concerns? Thoughts? No fooling.
Lefty Jack Smear.
I got one, I'll say. I got 2 I could sell you. Unused.
Ooh.
Send me a price.
Homeboy ain't finna pay retail, though.
Used might get more money.
I don't know what it costs.
True. Depends who it's used by, though.
Game worn.
Like game worn underwear by you, people know that there's been a hog in there.
No.
And they're youth extra larges.
You're still wearing youth clothing.
I mean,
you wear youth XL boxers.
No, I wear smalls in the boxers.
Small.
What smalls?
But you like on a golf shirt? Will you go youth XL?
Youth XL on a golf shirt because it's $30 cheaper, probably, give or take.
Really?
At least.
I didn't even wear youth clothes when I was a youth.
Husky.
It's
You're a
bargain
husky
shopping,
boy.
baby.
You open that bag over there, Plaus. You got some golf shirts in there.
See, I like them tight, though. That's my whole thing with golf.
Shrink them.
Yeah, I don't know how to shrink things.
Laundry.
Warm water in the
Hot
shirt.
water.
Hot water.
Hot.
Yeah.
I tried that before on a hoodie, and it just didn't work.
Oh.
It was upsetting.
Sadie Hawkins, Doug, it's opening day, and we woke up to temperatures in the 30s 5 weeks after Iggy declared winter to be over. The Rangers and Devils scrapped 5v5 from the opening puck drop at MSG. On the roads appeared on Michael Porter Jr.'s podcast. Iggy got a cut in color from Oreen, but I think the lead is that the biggest plot twist since Finkel is in Orn. Einhorn? I can't read. Blueberry Pop Pop revealed himself to be KG in O-Town. Here's a guy that Iggy regularly trashes for having the nerve to produce content for the TMA socials and taking the initiative to organize the Shishwali Golf Tournament. But last month, Iggy unknowingly voted for his emails 13 times while admitting he took lots of shots at me, but I laughed. Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
You went back and listened to 13. You had to listen to every email a day to find out who I voted for.
The man does the research.
27 emails a day you listen to
That's
just to
nice
put up with
research.
that stat.
He does the work.
God almighty.
Ours is the type of presentation where listeners feel free to drop in at any time and ask the host if they went down on some random Hedo Strange 10 to 20 years ago. Brutal economics discussion in the first hour. I love how the guy who doesn't pay for Bally's bitches that the app doesn't work as if he tries to use someone else's login. Doug blames player salaries for the inflated parking and session costs, but no one brought up the dying cable bundle business model that for decades drove up those media rights deals, which in turn drove up team revenues and player salaries. But as fewer people pay for the bundle, it drove the rights holder Bally's into bankruptcy, which diminishes the Cardinals' future TV revenue streams. I enjoyed yesterday's Chicks Hoop discussion, even if Iggy did math wrong on Jackie Stiles' assists. But I think you guys dropped the ball by failing to follow up when Iggy mentioned there was one I was with, but it wasn't Jackie Stiles, implying that he hooked up with a college basketball player half his age. Maybe cover that tomorrow's show ahead of Jackie Stiles' interview. That's from Buck Swope.
That would make sense.
That's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
I bring up a name for a reason. You don't need to know everything about my life.
Well, you brought up the
I give you
topic.
enough. Yeah, but I didn't mention her name.
No. But will you tomorrow?
No.
Before the Jackie Stiles interview? During the Jackie Stiles interview?
No.
Will you say, hey, where's old Jane Doe?
No, I know where she's at.
Where is she? 10% crestfallen.
Just vote. Give your vote to Swope.
Swope had a nice little email. I'm going to go with, I think, Lefty Jack Smear, who put himself out there that he's in the market to do some buying.
Yeah. He's trying to stimulate the economy.
Right.
Along with stimulating his prostate.
I mean, there really wasn't one to vote for. I mean, I'll go with Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner gets Iggy's vote. I'm with Doug. I'm going to go with Lefty Jacksmere. I appreciate the cadence in which he writes his emails. Lefty Jacksmere gets on the board, and he's a member of our Fantasy Baseball League, if I'm not mistaken.
Has been for a while.
Yeah. No. I think this is his first year.
Really?
We had like an open tryout essentially.
I thought he was part of ours back in the day.
You might have been, but this I remember he won. He won it in when we kind of had open tryouts, and I believe he is in our fantasy baseball.
Open tryouts. I mean, the first one that said I'll be in, and Joe said yeah.
Tough vetting process.
Yeah, well, Prod Joe runs a tight ship. We all know that. That's going to do it for today's presentation. The Cardinals' home opener is today at 3:15 as they take on the Miami Marlins. Lance Lynn on the bump. We'll be watching that and breaking that down tomorrow, along with Jackie Stiles tomorrow, former Missouri State.
Yeah,
Bear
sometimes at 9:05, we can break down women's Final Four. We can talk about. She follows basketball. I'm sure we can talk about the men's if we wanted to.
Sure. James Carlton presents you all the tournament talk here on TMA. That's going to do it for our presentation today. I believe the opening drive is going an extra hour as they're live from BPV before the home opener on 101 ESPN in place of Tim and I's balloon party from 10 to 11. Me and Tim's balloon party, 10 to 11. It's a tough one. Either way. That's going to be the plan for 101 ESPN. We'll be back with the same crew tomorrow, same with Monday, as Tim will be out till Tuesday of next week, and then we'll be back to full strength on Tuesday. For Douglas Elvin Vaughn, for Darren the Plowboy Atkins, for Kennedy Strode, for KG in O-Town, and for the vacationing Tim McKernan, I'm Action Jackson. This has been Morning After, presented to you by Brian Crouppen.